Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the F-Heroes edition, and today we are on to the final scenario of the Archibald campaign. This is Scenario 11, Apocalypse. I'm very excited for this. When I think back to this Archibald campaign, it has been a whirlwind, and comparing it to the Roland campaign, I truly believe that the Roland campaign is more difficult. Roland's campaigns, you're dealing with unlimited onslaughts of enemy troops. You are really straining the game's mechanics to suit you the absolute best that it can. And you are finding yourself occasionally hoping you get a little bit lucky, getting some really good spells in your mage guild to really turn the tide. The Archibald campaign has not been as difficult, but where it lacked difficulty to hang its hat on, I really feel like it's been very engaging because of its scenario level design. For example, Scenario 6, where you had to defeat legions of peasants to then get a snowball stack size of skeletons to win the game. It's pretty interesting. Scenario 7, where you need to go and conquer dragons in the middle of the desert and be the master of dragons. That's very interesting. It was a well done map. And then Scenario 8, not too long ago, where you start off with just one hero. You have to commandeer a sorceress town and then wage war from that tiny base of operations against an enemy that has already encompassed itself around the entire map. It's been very, very interesting to see these scenarios take place and get fleshed out. I wonder, as a point of interest, which campaign was created first? Did they do the Roland campaign and then the Archibald campaign? Did they do the Archibald campaign and then the Roland campaign? Were they done by separate people concurrently? I don't know. If there is a Heroes of Might and Magic 2 developer out there that can answer questions like that, please contact me. Let me know. I've got a million questions and I would love to pick your brain if you'd be interested in reminiscing about a 20-year-old game. Enough said. Folks, let's dive into the intro for Heroes of Might and Magic 2, Scenario 11, Archibald, Apocalypse.
Our finest hour is upon us. Roland's forces have retreated to the province around his castle, and Roland, the fool, cowers in his summer palace, awaiting our final strike. You have gathered your forces for this final battle. Now go! Crush the rebellion, and bring my brother back in chains.
Okay, so it's worth noting that on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most evil, that scenario intro was probably like a 5, and I did keep track. If you've been with me throughout all these Archibald scenarios, I've been ranking on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, just how evil is Archibald? Is he really the bad guy that the game makes him out to be, or is he just this misunderstood goober? Well, he scored a 2 in the first scenario, a 4 out of 10 in the second scenario, a 2.5, an 8, a 1, a 3, a 4, a 6, and now a 5. And based off of my math, my very scientific approach here, Roland is maybe not as good as we once thought, because Archibald is definitely not as bad as we once thought. Archibald comes in at about a 3.9 out of 10 on the evil scale. I'm thinking maybe he was just a little bit misunderstood. Now, for those of you who are screaming and saying, no, 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 this can't possibly be, take heart, because canonically, Roland does win, and so the good guy is going to win. But today, we are evil. Today, we are going to dominate as this pseudo-evil, mostly misunderstood King Archibald. This is the final battle. Both you and your enemy are armed to the teeth, and all are allied against you. Capture Roland to win the war, and be sure not to lose Archibald in the fight. We have the Ogre Alliance, so ogres and ogre lords will be willing to join our army. We have the Dwarf Bane, so dwarves and battle dwarves will always run away from our armies. We have the Dragon Alliance, so green, red, and black dragons will be willing to join our armies. And we do have the forces that we gathered in the previous scenario. That'll be 19 black dragons, 255 gargoyles, 91 Minotaur Kings, 69 hydras, and 58 power liches. Usually in the choice section, we either have a buff we can choose, or we get to choose our starting faction, just whatever our preference is. This time we have to take a penalty. We have our choice between 3 artifacts. It looks like the Tax Lien, which will cost us 250 gold pieces per day. The Hideous Mask, which will prevent all wandering armies from joining our hero. or the Fizbin of Misfortune, which will greatly decrease our morale by 2. Let's go to our handy dandy dice roll. It's going to pop up one dice roll, and then another one's going to pop up here, and it looks like we roll a 1. So that means we are going to be taking the tax lane. Terrific. I hate the tax lane. It's my least favorite out of all these, but don't worry, we are going to make this work. Let's make sure our difficulty is on hard. Folks, welcome to the show. Message from Archibald. General, thank you for bringing me this lovely gift. I have decided to participate directly in the capture of my brother Roland. Since your military advice has taken us this far, I will follow your orders to the letter. When he says, thank you for bringing me this lovely gift, I'm wondering, is that the tax lien that he's referring to? That is a white elephant gift if I've ever seen one. So it looks like we do have Archibald. We do have him under our command, and he has that army that we rallied together in that most recent scenario. It looks like Archibald is a level 6 warlock. He has 1 defense skill, 5 spell power, 4 knowledge, and he starts off with the expert scouting, expert leadership, and the wisdom. I'm really happy to see the wisdom. I'm guessing that he's going to be our main hero, and so having wisdom just makes sure that he is guaranteed to get access to all the important spells, and I'm happy to see that. Otherwise, because he is a warlock, he starts off with the curse spell. And then we have, it looks like we have a enemy just outside of the barbarian town that we have. And to represent the barbarian faction, we have Sabu the Barbarian. I'm a big fan of Sabu. I've mentioned in scenarios past that, the name, the portrait, the hero elements that are related to the flavor, that they don't really matter. And yet, every time I see Sabu, I'm happy to see Sabu. He just feels like a good, down-to-earth barbarian for me. He starts off at level 4, expert pathfinding, basic wisdom, basic logistics. So not bad. And this barbarian town starts off with all of our creature dwellings from level 1 through 6. It looks like the ogres, trolls, and orcs are not upgraded, so we'll have to do that later. But we do have a level 2 mage guild as well. This is a great mage guild. This is a fantastic mage guild for a barbarian because they can only learn, well, unless you have wisdom, generally they only learn the level 2 spells anyway. Blind is terrific for the barbarians because it's a low cost, low barrier to entry, and highly disabling spell. And then haste for the troops that are really geared towards attacking with their high attack and lower defense. Getting across the battlefield as quickly as possible is sometimes the very best thing, so that haste spell is very nice to see. And disrupting ray, just in case there's a really tough enemy. Great mage guild. Happy to see every little bit of that there. And then it looks like here, kind of in the 6 to 5 o'clock position, we have a warlock town. It looks like Alomar is going to be the representative from the warlocks. He's got the scouting, wisdom, and the ballistics, and he put 1 point into attack skill. Otherwise, he's got 4 spell power and 3 knowledge. And in our warlock town, we have the same basic setup where we have all access to our creatures through level 1 through 6 dwellings. And this time we have a level 3 mage guild, it looks like. This is not a bad mage guild. We've got Cold Ray, Lightning Bolt, which having a single target high damaging spell is sometimes very useful to just take out some large stacks. Plus a little bit of functionality with the Cure, so that way we can avoid some negative debuffs. Fireball for the AoE damage, always welcome to see some kind of AoE spell. And then the Paralyze. Now, which would I rather have, the Paralyze or the Blind? I think offhand I would rather take the Blind, only because the Blind as a level 2 spell costs, I think, 6 spell points to cast, and it does effectively the same thing as the Paralyze. For an extra 3 spell points though, what does the Paralyze do? It makes it so that when you break the Paralyze, when you break the Blind, that there is no retaliation. Paralyzed creatures will not retaliate when you break the spell with an attack. So that's always interesting. For the extra 3 spell points, you get that chance to not have to worry about retaliations. So a good mage guild, happy to see that one as well. And then it looks like here in the bottom right corner, kind of in the 4 o'clock position, we do have another enemy hero here. So this is Yellow Lord Kilburn. And this is orange Carlon. But in the bottom right, we have Ranlu the Necromancer. I like Ranlu as well. He puts off good vibes for me. Basic Necromancy, Expert Wisdom, and then the basic Eagle Eye. Not too shabby. I like that he's got 1 point into attack and defense, and then some other points into his spell points. So not too bad. Not too bad. In the Necromancer town, we once again have the same setup where we have all of our creature dwellings, and we have a mage guild. This isn't a bad mage guild, in my opinion. We got some damaging spells. We got the disrupting ray, so we can deal with high damage enemies. The anti-magic is really going to be good later on. That's going to be nice to prevent any kind of, you know, mass damage spell or like a mass haste, something like that. If there's one single target that we really need to keep going, that'll be nice. This view towns, though, is very interesting. Getting view towns right off the bat, I can see that being very useful for us to help plan our strategy and figure out what we need to do to defeat the enemy. Worth noting that we only have 2 of each of the precious resources, and then 10 of the non-precious resources, and 5,000 gold. That's not a lot of gold. So knowing I've got these 2 threats, these are probably going to be the most high priority towns to deal with this turn. The Barbarians and the Necromancers. As I'm sitting here thinking about Archibald, I'm probably, with this very, very large army that he possesses, probably going to want to push into the enemy territory as soon as possible. Let's not wait for them to build up a large army, and let's instead bring the fight to them rather than allow them to sit back, wait, get several weeks of creature growth, and then push into us. Because of that, I am going to want to use him to probably clear out some of these guardians around, like this gold mine, for example, but he's probably not going to be here to pick up gold, campfires, and things like that, because it's just a waste of his time at this point. Because he is level 6 is not that high of a level. It's only going to take 1,700 experience points for him to get to his next level. So we're going to be fighting all these fights. Even if the pikemen want to run, even if the greater druids want to run, we are not going to let them. And the only other thing I can think about right now is this. I wish that he had more attack skill and more defense skill. Spell power and knowledge, yes, it's fine. But when we have huge stacks of troops like these, high level troops, we really want to support them as best as we can with the attack skill and the defense skill. And especially when we're talking about black dragons, what can you do to buff your black dragons? You can increase their morale, you can give them greater opportunities at good luck, and then you have to use attack and defense skill to make sure that they work and keep doing their damage. Other troops you can buff with spells like blesses and hastes and things like that. Black dragons, you don't have that luxury because of their magic resistance. So you have limited ways in which you can really make the most out of them. And since attack and defense skill are the 2 primary ones, well, we better see if we can beef those up as soon as possible. Either by gaining levels and getting additional stats, or perhaps we can find some artifacts, maybe like in this graveyard here, find a really good artifact that will help push this army over the limit, help those black dragons keep doing what they do best. There is enemy here, enemy here. I'm wondering if there's an enemy here in the darkness just off screen. I don't know. But I am going to have to deal with the threats that I do see first. Even if I lose Alamar, so long as I have some defenders in this town by the end of this turn, I'll be happy. It shouldn't be too far away if there is an enemy hero here or an enemy hero here who can just walk into my town. I think that Archibald will be able to jet on over there and take that back very, very quickly, so long as I purchase all the troops that are most important for me to purchase. I am wondering, since this gem mine looks to be undefended, maybe Alamar cleans up some of this, and then maybe there's a route in this way we can go through. Right now, that's probably my best bet, just to alleviate the pressure from Archibald to want to pick up all these other loose resources. Okay, that is my early game strategy right now. Let's start getting into it. I hope you're still with me, because these are just my thoughts and I hadn't even moved a single muscle so far. But this is a turn-based strategy game for a reason. And Hopefully you don't mind me talking you through my stream of consciousness. Yeah, what goes on in my brain, you're getting it in full force. You tentatively approach the burial ground of ancient warriors. Do you want to search the graves? Yes, I do. We're going to fight this fight again for this reason. So this is 100 mutant zombies, and these 19 black dragons can solve them without any problems. Yeah, it's only 2 gargoyles that I'm losing, but I've got a really easy way that I can finish this fight. Rather than auto combat and send my gargoyles across the battlefield to maybe lose 1 or 2, I'm just going to hit skip, and then I'm going to just hit Q, which is going to finish the battle in auto mode. And then from here on out, the black dragons are not going to be bothered by any of those mutant zombies. And so long as the gargoyles don't go flying into their death, we should be just fine. So I'm going to accept those results. Mysticism or basic eagle eye? We're going to take the mysticism. I don't love mysticism. Maybe I should take the eagle eye. I'm going to take the eagle eye. I'm going to have to redo my tier ranking video. Ooh, wonderful. The superior scroll of knowledge is a +4 to knowledge, plus 1,000 gold. We will take that. Yeah, we'll take that. I'm going to take the experience here too. We're going to make sure we get the expert wisdom. I don't know when I'm going to get a 5th level mage guild, but I'm not going to wait to find out. The pikemen want to run. I'm not going to let them because, again, I need the experience points. And because I'm right here, I am going to pick up the sulfur mine. It would be nice to have another hero come in and like help out, but for now, it's right there, and sulfur is probably going to be one of the most important resources I can get because of dragons. Dragons are pretty high cost. I don't know if we can go into the castle and reach Lord Kilburn, but we definitely can't fight Lord Kilburn with just some skeletons and some zombies. So let's go in, pick up these spells, of course, and I'm thinking that we buy the bone dragons and the skeletons. I don't want to purchase vampires or liches just because, well, if I do, then I'm just going to have to pay to upgrade them later. So I'll definitely pick up the zombies. And you know what? I'm just going to purchase the liches. I'm probably never going to upgrade these 2 liches, but I want to make sure that I win this fight. I think I can with the spell points I have, but I just want to be for sure. And it looks like I can reach this turn, which is actually really, really nice to see. I definitely don't have room to go pick up some treasure and then attack Lord Kilburn though. So either way, let's make sure that our troops are in the correct slots, and then let's push on. Ooh, okay. I think that we can still win this. This takes into account no spells active, so let's fight this fight. And the champions are going to go first because they're so fast. I'm really glad that they didn't get good morale. That would have absolutely ruined my day. I do have a 50 damage lightning bolt and a disrupting ray. I don't really have a spell that can, like a blind or a paralyze. I can't shut down these troops. Between the champions and the rangers, who's the bigger threat? I think it's definitely the champions. So we're going to end up focusing them, and we'll deal with the rangers later when we get a chance. Here's the question. Should I just go and defend my liches? I think so. I'm going to put the skeletons right in front of the liches, and then the zombies will go right here just so the champions can't get by and take out these liches. I think that'll be the best use of my time. 111 hit points left on these bone dragons. That's not a lot, but every little bit of damage will help. So I'm going to stay right in front of these champions and start working on that stack. I hope I don't lose a bone dragon here. Oof, that's not very nice. If I attack right here, I will damage my bone dragons. If I attack back here, I will not. Let me cast my lightning bolt. Should I kill 1 there, or should I kill 5 here? I think I kill 5 rangers, and then I think I still kill either 0 or 1 champions. I did not get lucky. But now I don't think that the champions are going to be able to go all the way around and deal with my liches. So if I can take a little bit of heat off of the bone dragons, I will. And let's have the skeletons get into the fray. And now perhaps we already cast spell this turn. Do I kill this last champion? I don't think so. I think that we try and take out 3 to 5 of these rangers. There's a chance that the enemy will run. Looks like they do not, and that is just fine for me. It looks like I will do 17 to 22 damage, and I have 30 hit points left. So unless I got good luck, don't get good luck, then we're going to save the bone dragon and we'll be just fine. So 2 skeleton loss. We turned a loss into a win, and we get 1 skeleton back. And so we take out that enemy. I don't plan on trying to build a lot of skeletons through necromancy. So I'm going to take the estates, especially turn 1, an extra 100 gold for the next 50, 60 turns. That's going to stack up very quickly. I think I see a sawmill right here, just where this wood is. Generally, if you see wood just hanging out right there, that's a good indicator that there might be a mine of that resource type on the ground that you can then go take. I'm going to need a sawmill. I might as well head that way. And I see an ore mine here. We'll see if we have any money left over, and maybe we can think about buying another hero to start working into that ore mine. We do have Alamar. He hasn't done anything. And again, we're operating under the assumption that there is not a hero here. We will try and make sure we have at least one dragon in our town. We'll see if we can have at least 3,000 gold left at the end of this turn. But we do have the barbarians still to organize. 2,000 gold is terrific there. And whether I go right or whether I go left, I'm thinking I can buy another hero here in the Necromancer town, swing through here, and then maybe I can have him meet up here. So then I should probably have Alamar go and help Archibald clean up a lot of these loose resources and just see if we can either go up here or maybe through here. Nice to see a mercenary camp. There's a free crystal mine there, so that'll be useful anyway. And then I can attack her now, but I just don't have the troops for it. I'm going to have to pop into this town. Now here's the question. There's treasure here. You know, I'm going to play it a little bit safe. And I'm just going to pick up the treasure. I'm going to pick up the gold, and then I'm going to purchase the troops I need to. Same reason as the necromancers. I don't want to get the trolls or the ogres or the orcs unless lest I have to upgrade them later at an increased cost. I'm just shy of the 3,000 gold it takes to get me one dragon here. And that's a little concerning. I'll have to pick up some other troops. I don't think I push into Carlon for this reason. Sabu has expert pathfinding. This swamp is not going to bother him in the slightest. But for her, that might be a very tough thing. Wherever she goes, if she goes north or south, or, you know, heaven forbid she try and attack me here in my town, I should be able to deal with her if I just let her go for one more turn. So let's make sure that we're not going to get backdoored here. What's the best unit to do that with the gold I have left? Probably the Hydras and the Centaurs. That leaves us 820 gold. Are there any buildings we can purchase for that amount? I don't think so. I could have considered leaving more gold so I could get a statue, but for now, we're not going to worry about it. I think with the Hydras, I'll be okay, just in case there is somebody just off in the distance. So, I think that is turn 1. I think that we've talked about it enough. I think we have a good strategy. I think we know what we're going to be doing. Let's move forward into month 1, week 1, day 1, into day 2. Okay, so she picked up a couple of goblins there. Maybe 2,000 gold to upgrade, 3,000 gold to upgrade. Oh my goodness, that's a very expensive building to upgrade. If I pick up the war trolls now, and then I purchase some, I don't think I'll have any problem defeating her. Ooh, but wait, do I need a spell book? I do need a spell book, because that blind, I definitely want that blind. That is an excellent spell. And then unfortunately that leaves me just with the one war troll. Maybe I can have another hero pick up some gold somewhere else. Let's wait on the barbarians for now. You've come upon a fight between a necromancer and a paladin. The necromancer blasts the paladin with a firebolt, bringing him to his knees. Acting quickly, you slay the evil one before the final blow. The grateful paladin gives you the fire cloak that saved him. This halves all damage to my troops taken from fire spells. I already visited the graveyard. I think I should just head right into these druids. Let's actually see. I think Alamar can get through, and that's wonderful. I'm looking at this. I mentioned that I want attack, skill, and defense. Well, there's one of each. So I'm probably going to see how long it takes me to get to there. There's a sawmill here, but I think that Ranlu... Yep, Ranlu is heading into a sawmill himself anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. Did I pick up any gold? I don't think I picked up any gold. I don't think there's any troops I want, though. So the enemy got tougher, but so did I. I picked up the spell book this time, and I got 1 war troll. Let's give it a shot. I think that I can beat this hero. It'll depend on her spells. Well, no, unless she started off with spells in her spell book. Otherwise, she'll have... What do sorceresses start off with? Haste? It's not haste, but something like haste. Let's fight this fight. Okay, let's see what we can do. It looked like it was pretty close. It looked like it was very close, actually. 6 greater druids or the unicorns, which is more difficult to kill? I would say that the unicorns are going to be the bigger threat by a lot. By a lot. Oh my goodness, and look at this. So I've got these tree branches and just riffraff on the battlefield that I'm going to have to step over in order to get to these greater druids. I would like to put my wolves right up at the top where I can threaten, but they can't be reached. Interesting. Here's the question. Do I bank on Carlon having only her starting spell, Bless? I think that sorceresses start off with Bless. Do I assume that she's going to have Bless and no other spells? Because if so, I have 1 spell power and 1 knowledge. I've got exactly 1 blind. Maybe I forego the damage from the greater druids for 1 turn. I don't want to lose my wolves needlessly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so my wolves are just zoned out by these unicorns. Let's just move forward a little bit and see how the battle develops. Well, no, I need to figure out, do I cast my blind now? Tell you what, let's actually blind the unicorns so we can get the wolves and the cyclops down the battlefield as quickly as possible. The cyclops are going to go before the unicorns next turn anyway. And so then they are going to be guaranteed to get that first shot. So let's do that now. Let's blind the unicorns, and that'll put us in prime position to cause some damage later. Oh gosh, that was 38 damage. We got 42 left on these cyclops. Ooh, that is pretty great. I'm not gonna attack these unicorns. I'm probably just gonna soak up some damage from these goblins, and that's okay. Just as long as I win this fight, I'll be fine. I'm thinking, do I take out these single stacks of goblins, or do I take out 5 to 6? I think I take out 5 to 6. And that'll just save some damage on the cyclops. Let's focus on these here. Ooh, and that is 1 cyclops that's gone now. The unicorns are going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The unicorns are stuck because they can't get through here. This is excellent. Watch this. They are out of position because these goblins have really caused them some major problems. This is terrific. And in fact, I'm going to do something a little cheeky. I'm going to attack these goblins here. And so then we're not going to take any retaliation from the unicorns. And we're still going to do full damage to these unicorns. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. These goblins are going to go down, though. There's not a whole lot else I can do. Somebody's got to hit them. Might as well be you guys. And the blind. It's great. It's great. We do have 1 spell left. Do we cast the haste? Well, it's not going to do us any good to cast the haste now because it's only going to last till the end of this combat. Who's scarier, 7 to 14 or half damage greater druids? It's the unicorns, no doubt. And it looks like the unicorns are actually going to go first this round of combat. So let's haste our cyclops, so at least they will get the drop on the unicorns. Maybe they can kill 1 more, and otherwise let's keep the wolves on these greater druids. I think that's a good use of their time. Nice. And the paralyzed, terrific. Okay, if we can kill this stack of greater druids, it looks like that paralyze is going to last for 3 turns. So let's take out these greater druids as quickly as possible. and then we'll worry about surrounding these unicorns later. There's 2 unicorns, but only 1 hit point worth of, well, hit points on the top stack. We're going to move the wolves out of the way and let the Cyclopses finish this off. And then we might as well move everybody a little closer because we don't want to attack this turn. We want to attack next turn. I'm glad that I'm getting this good morale right now. This is the perfect time. Okay, but this is actually the perfect time because everybody's going to just get to a fight. The goblins are no longer blinded. This should be the end of the unicorns, and this hero, Carlon, is not going to get to run. So we turned another loss into a victory, and we are happy for it. No artifacts. A little sad about that. Barbarians do have 2 shooters. I'll take the basic archery just to help me defend. And then I am going to pick up these standing stones. That could be pretty useful. I don't think with this army I should go challenge these mummies. More spell power. Traveler's boots. Do you see that? Right there. Right there. That looks like it's unguarded other than these pack of mummies. With no spell points and only a couple of shooters. Pack of mummies. But the traveler's boots. As soon as I can get those boots, the better. Maybe I can pick up the goblin hut and some of these other buildings, and we'll just come back next turn. We have only 470 gold. That's not enough to really do anything. Let's go on to the next day. I can pick up 2 more war trolls. I think that'll turn the tide. Yeah, I think that that'll turn the tide. I think that I feel a lot more comfortable fighting this battle with those. And then we'll pick up our gems. We'll walk through the temple only because it is logistically better. Oof. I thought that I could diagonal that campfire and I could not. Ranlu is going to pick us up. Oh, nice. Free alchemist lab. And there's a road here and there's a sign here. There's a sign here too, and I do want to see what that sign says very quickly. Pack of Greater Druids. They want to run. We're not going to let them. And we are just fine with that. This treasure chest, I'm going to see if I can get the experience. I don't think the experience is worth it. I'm pretty broke right now. This will be Alamar's turn to get the sign. And then I see an observation tower. I wish I'd known that this was here earlier. That is going to be very, very useful. I got 3,800 gold purchases to make. Statue. I've got 5 ore left, so I can get 1 statue. I can't get my dungeon until I have more ore anyway. I don't think that there's any other buildings I really need to purchase. Just statues are the big thing that's sticking in my craw. Maybe marketplaces. How about we do that? Let's buy all the marketplaces we can. That'll cost us 15 wood. But then we'll have more troops available just in case we need to make some purchases and think on the fly. You know what I wish? I wish that I had saved the gold, purchased a hero here, and then used the gold that I pick up here to then buy that other marketplace. Because I just made that other marketplace, do I want to wait 1 turn? How many resources is it going to take? 2? 2 mercury. I just picked up a mercury lab. Let's trade for the gold, and then let's pick up another hero. Let's take Joe Josh, or no, excuse me, Thundax. He's got the faster troops, and he is going to have the pathfinding, so that won't be too bad. And then let's have him pick up some gold. More gold. And then get our ore, and that'll solve a lot of our problems. Okay, let's fight these mummies. Looks like we're going to win this fight. Let's just make sure about it. Minimize our losses wherever we can. Go into a full defensive position. And I think the mummies are going to try and probably go for these war trolls, but we will see. I'll attack these middle stacks with my archers, with my ranged troops anyway. Just so that way if they had gone up to the top of the battlefield, I wouldn't have been too far off. Let's bring our wolves down. Let's take a step back. And I'm wondering if I can get some really low stacks of mummies, maybe I can get a double eye shot off on these Cyclops, and that'll do me some good. Very interesting to see them cower in that way. I don't love that choice there. You're going to take some hits at some point anyway. You might as well you might as well fight and not have to worry about it, especially when there's archers that are shooting you down, ranged troops that are going to kill you. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's take out this biggest stack. Good morale, coming in very useful. And now the goblins still can't reach, but next turn the Cyclops will reach. So 13 hit points, 10 hit points, 4 hit points. Let's work on this biggest stack. Cyclops and War Trolls are going to get to go. Cyclops are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just going to take out this stack. Let's work on this small stack up here with the wolves. And then again, we're going to work on the biggest stack here. Very nice. I've got no complaints there. And then the fight is won at this point. So I'm just going to hit Q, enter. We'll accept that with no more losses. That fight was not the easiest. I wasn't very confident with that fight. The fight was easy. Ooh, ghosts guarding a gold mine. I wasn't very confident in that fight just because I just don't have a lot of troops there and no spell points to back me up. There's a dispel magic there just in case I need it for later. Let's pick up all this gold. And then Alamar is going to follow Archibald to this observation tower. And let's see what we got here. Wow, look at this. So Goblin Hut, 4 Goblin Huts, and a watchtower, 2 watchtowers. I thought I saw another, yeah, 3rd watchtower. Wow, I may be getting lots of low-level creatures. I may be getting a huge stack of orcs and goblins. Very interesting. There's another sawmill, another alchemist lab. Interesting, because neither the barbarians nor the warlocks nor the necromancers really rely heavily on mercury, at least not in the same way that, say, the sorceresses would. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let's have Ranlu take this sign. It says it's the King's Road. And this is an instance where I feel like I should follow this road as far up as it can go, because it looks like it's, you know, I'm on dirt, and then there's green grass. If this is the King's Road, this is probably where enemies are going to be coming from. And the further up the road I go, the more advanced warning I will have that there is a problem if there's a problem coming my way at 1,000 miles an hour. Other than that, I'm not seeing anything very scary. I just want to get these traveler's boots and get these back to Archibald as soon as possible. Strategy-wise, I do want to drop these Hydras off as quickly as possible, because they're just slowing me down right now. They have a speed of 2. They are going to slow me down until I can get rid of them. Let's head into Burton, though. It's got some spells there that are very useful, and we are going to stop in at this witch's hut. We've already got Eagle Eye. What more can you do to me? And maybe I'll get something good. So let's stop in there and see what we have. Ballistics, very good. I'm happy to take that on my main hero. And Thundax will clean up this free ore. And look, dwarves. So both of those dwarves will run because of the dwarf bane. And then, yeah, dwarves here. There's a lot of dwarves on this map. I don't know if these were randomly generated or if the level designers put them in, but nice for me, because I am happy to see that. You have found an oddly shaped ring on the finger of a long dead traveler. The ring looks like a snake biting its own tail. So bless spells will cost less. I think it's half. And that's nice for the bless and for the mass bless. Both are useful. We've got gold coming in. We've got our ore. Let's make sure we get our statues and make sure that gold is never a problem again. Statue. And maybe I'll actually have enough for the dungeon, so I'll take the dungeon now. And probably the statue in this town next turn. Let's move on to the next turn. Discovering a pair of beautifully beaded boots made from the finest and softest leather, you thank the anonymous donor and add the boots to your inventory. We might as well pick up the free gold. I don't want to take Minotaur Kings. I think that they will take me out for a walk if I try and fight them. I think I've got enough gold. I want to see, in the same way that I'm sending Ranlu up this path, I want to send another hero up this path, just so that way they can scout for me a little bit. Looks like Gem is going to have 2 speed troops and Maximus will have 2 speed troops. It doesn't matter. If I get Gem though and drop the dwarves here, then she can pick up the spells in the Mage Guild and maybe that can be useful for her if she gets into a tough fight. I'm hitting Control and then left clicking to split these stacks of troops. And then I'm going to actually send her to get this sawmill this turn. But eventually her goal is to get the Alchemist Lab, the sawmill, and then go up north. Thundax is picking up tons of treasure. And I didn't actually read this sign. What does this say? You are now entering the domain of Prince Roland. Have a nice day. He's such a nice guy. No, we can't think like that. We are evil and we don't care. Archibald can learn necromancy. We're not going to let him. I'm so sad to be taking mysticism and Eagle Eye, but I'm going to do it. Oh my word. I'm a little sad. We got to get this Mage Guild just to see what's here. And maybe I can buy the 3rd level Mage Guild right now. It's going to pretty much bankrupt me. I'm going to do it though, because who knows when Archibald's going to come back here next time. Fireball, View Towns. I've meant to cast View Towns before. Let's cast that now. Okay. So this is a little bit difficult to see. It looks like we have town, town, town. And if I really zoom in, it'll, I don't know if you can see it, but I can barely make it out. Green owns this, 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 and this. Looks like blue owns this and this, and yellow owns this, this, and this. And so these 4 towns, there's 4 towns here, and I believe that those are all Knight faction towns. They are all unowned at this time. And that bodes well for me. That means I've got a little bit of a buffer between me and the enemy. I don't know if these towns look like they're on grass or if they're actually on grass, but that's pretty interesting there. And then blue has the town there. I'm guessing that that is our objective, that is Roland, and he's going to be where we're heading. That is my guess. Okay. So we're probably going to take our heroes and go up the road. If it goes here or here or here, we're going to stay probably out of this kind of bubble area, but we'll explore as much as we can and go from there. Interesting. I wonder why there's so much dead space here. That just seems strange to me. But I do have another spell. I think that we're going to keep Archibald in this town with a Mage Guild overnight. So let's cast View Artifacts as well. Looks like there's a lot over here. I wonder if this is all swamp. If that's all swamp, maybe I should send the barbarians into there to handle that with their pathfinding. Looks like there's some resources right here. And only a couple left. It looks like, well, maybe this is dead space and maybe there were artifacts there, and now that there's some enemy heroes that have taken advantage of those. Interesting. And again, I got view resources. Let's do it while we can. Sulfur, gold, sulfur. Mercury, crystal, gold. Okay, so if I had a view mines spell, and I might on another hero, I would be interested to know if I see mercury clumped up like this, does that mean that this is right next to a mercury lab, an alchemist's lab? Likewise, is this crystal indicative of a crystal mine being there? Because if so, look, sulfur and sulfur. Maybe there's 2 sulfur mines here to the west, and maybe I should really focus on those. Wood, I see wood right next to each other twice. Maybe that's like this right here where there's this sawmill and there's just wood on the ground. So maybe I have another sawmill here. Maybe, what's O again? O is ore. Maybe I have another ore mine right here. Gold mine right here to be had. Interesting. But otherwise, it looks like the enemy is really just taken all the free resources and taken them out one by one. So pretty interesting. I'm going to drop the hydras here. I think somebody else, what they're going to do, I'm going to dismiss the dwarves. Somebody else is going to pick up the hydras and probably evenly distribute them between this town, and this town, so that there's just defenders everywhere. I don't know who I'm going to take into the army to replace that missing stack of troops. Maybe right now I'm just going to split my dragon stack into 2, into 10 and 9. That's probably what I'm going to do. Okay. And then Ranlu is going to again continue up the path. Pack of cavalries, but we said that there was towns, right? Are the towns, here's the main road, are the towns like right here, or are they like up here a little bit further? Are these cavalries guarding a town? Are these cavalries guarding a town? I don't know the answer. Let's just keep going up this road. I'm a little sad. I'm a little worried. I don't want to lose Ranlu. He's a level 5 hero. Maybe I push up to here and then I go back. Maybe this is far enough. We're going to have to play that one by ear. Alamar is going to pick up the sawmill for free. And I want to explore into here. I don't know what's right here. Maybe there's something really good that I'm missing out on. Maybe like a free undefended gold mine for all I know. We cannot get our statue. We don't have enough ore. We might as well get the skull pile here. Generate whatever creatures we can. We already purchased here. And we'll pick up the waterfall here. And then that is our turn. We need to turn over the boots. Sabu has these boots for Roland. So we're going to turn over that artifact now. That's a lot of dragons, right? That's a lot of dragons. What would it look like if I took just 2 dragons, right? Like just 2. One off of this stack and then one off of this stack. Because we noted that there was some artifacts and some mines in here, and I definitely don't want Archibald to get stuck in the swamp. He does not have pathfinding. If I give Sabu some dragon power, he can clear out these Minotaur Kings. We can consider getting rid of the goblins and the orcs and taking out these ghosts so we can get that gold mine. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to have him step back out of the way. We're going to have Archibald, who's now got full magic points. He is going to push into this graveyard here. This is interesting because there's a pack of Crusaders. I wonder if they're guarding something good. Medal of Distinction for +1 to morale. I have not explored the map enough, so I'm going to send Archibald through the swamps a little bit just to get to this graveyard so I can maybe pick up a nice artifact. Hopefully attack skill, defense skill, something like that. Hopefully. And then Sabu's going to go back. He's going to drop off the really weaker troops. Speed 5. That shouldn't be any problem to bring these troops. And then if I split my shooters, then I'll feel extra okay about pushing out into the unknown. Oh, I'm going to wait here overnight because Sabu has no magic points left. Every little bit matters. Let's path through the mercenary camp. I think that Thundax is going to go through the bottom way. From the south, there is another ore mine here, which is great. And then Ranlu. I think that this is enough advanced warning. I don't want to push out any further. I don't even want to get this treasure chest. I'm just so scared that someone's going to pop out and just snatch up Ranlu. I don't want to lose a level 5 hero. For free? I don't want to lose a level 5 hero. It's not even like, well, you know, it's you got to use heroes to make the best decisions. And usually I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of saying that knowledge is what helps you make the best decisions, and you should always do that. Yeah. That's what I usually say. Listen to me now. I don't know how important a level 5 hero is going to be later. And so more than just the principle of, oh, we should probably conserve our troops, we should definitely consider just not losing people for free. And hey, he's got some troops with him. Maybe they'll prove useful later as well. Pick up some of this free stuff. Let's take the experience. I'm probably going to need a second hero. It might as well be Sabu. Since he's taken these black dragons, he can fight some of these fights. I'll take the scouting. That'll be good for him. And then he's got this witch doctor's hut here. If he can get the knowledge and some spell power, maybe he can be a serviceable secondary hero. If only I can get him some he has basic wisdom. All right, Sabu's my secondary hero now, and I don't want anybody to complain about it. Not Alamar, not Ranlu, nobody else. I don't want to hear it. Okay. And then this should be a free... Well, it's not even a fight. I don't get to fight them. I'm going to wait here on the water wheel. It's day 7. I might as well get that for free, and then I'll probably pick up treasure chest, graveyard, and then I need to get out of the swamps because it's just costing me so many movement points. Take the gold. Another graveyard. Graveyards are interesting. I don't know what the drop rates are. Internally, and I don't think it's known to us. Well, maybe it is. So I don't know, but I think that these artifacts, their background indicates what level of rarity they are. And what I mean by that is, you know, a green background, is that better or worse than a blue background? I think that blue is less common of a artifact, more difficult to achieve, higher quality than these green ones are, which is so weird because a +4 to knowledge, is that better or worse than Traveler's Boots of Mobility? It's kind of difficult to say to me. But do I have any other heroes with any other artifacts? Well, I got this snake ring, and that looks like a purple background. That looks fairly common. The effect size for the snake ring is not that big. I'll have to kind of look into that just to see if the borders and the backgrounds mean anything on these artifacts. But I specifically bring that up when I'm talking about the graveyards. You know, if there's a rarity scale, if there's green as, you know, uncommon and blue as very rare or whatever, what's the likelihood that a graveyard's going to drop you something rare or very rare? I don't know the answer. I'm not going to come back to this windmill with, what's her name? Gem. We'll have to send somebody else to get that windmill next turn. It is day 7. Let's go to the best day of the week, which is Monday. Hold on. Statue. Make up your mind, Fix Fox. Make up your mind. Are we going to go on to the next turn or not? Come on. I think we got plenty of ore because we picked up that new mine. So I'm going to just purchase some of these things that only cost ore and gold. Although I got to get my upgrades now as well. Let's also work on upgrading our troops because we got plenty of gold. That's not the problem. Let's just make sure we got upgrades where we need them and press forward. Aha! So it looks like we got Ranlu out just in the nick of time. Although I'm pretty sure he could deal with a pack of peasants. All the same though, I don't feel too bad about that decision. Let's take the gold here. And let's actually travel down this road. Maybe there's something on this road that'll be useful. Actually, it looks like it goes this way anyway. We can get the rabbit's foot. Looks like there's something guarding the water wheel. I'm not sure what that is, but Ranlu can stock up and be a deterrent for anyone trying to push through him. This sign says the Queen's Road. So on the right-hand side, this sign says the King's Road, and now we have the Queen's Road. I wonder, and I'm just spitballing here, I wonder if that is any indication of, you know, knights on the King's Road and then maybe sorceresses on the Queen's Road. Maybe. Free crystal mine. If it turns out to be that, that'll be pretty fantastic, actually. Pick up these free resource generating objects. We have got a whole ton of mines and sawmills right now. This is pretty fantastic. We're going to accept that victory, those results. A cry of pain leads you to a centaur caught in a trap. Upon setting the creature free, he hands you a small pouch. Emptying the contents, you find a dazzling jeweled ring. That's a +2 to spell power. And then the +1 to knowledge. I'd definitely rather have the knowledge than the spell power at this point. 6 gems, not too bad. We're going to take the experience. We're going to take the navigation. Maybe there's water in this map. I don't know. But I definitely don't think the Sabu is going to be trying to learn random spells from people. We approach the graves. We take no losses. I'm going to take the ballistics. And the +1 to defense skill, that's not bad. We'll take that. And I'll take the gold instead of the experience points. I said I was staying at the water wheel just so I could revisit it on day 1, and then I walked away from it. I don't have the time or the energy to go back and get that this turn. And again, I don't think gold is my problem. I don't think gold is my problem. Let's start upgrading some of these creature dwellings. At least the most important ones, anyway. I'm going to get another hero. We might as well make it the hero that's got wisdom. And we're going to take, let's see. We're going to split these hydras into 3 stacks. 1 stack is going to stay here in this town as a defender, and then Darlena is going to ferry troops over to Roscommon. She may... Is she going to clear out these orc chiefs and these boars? Definitely the boars. Probably not the orc chieftains. I think that any losses is too many for her. But along the way, we'll pick up some things that can be useful for her. She's not going to pick up the orcs, though. We're just going to path that way since it's going to be a little bit easier for us. Okay. So we may take some losses here against these ghosts, but for a gold mine, that seems like it's going to be worth it to me. And then I'm going to go here so that way I can go into the witch's hut maybe later. No, witch's hut's just a little bit far out of the way, and I only have 2 spots left. No losses. The Black Dragons carried that fight, plus 1,000 gold per day. Some ruins. Okay, pause. We have ruins. We have goblin huts. We have watchtowers. We've got peasant huts, at least 4 of them, 5 of them. Another watchtower. And then wagon camp. There's 2 wagon camps. Am I expected to purchase troops? 3 wagon camps for rogues. Am I expected to field armies of low level purchase troops that I just run through the gauntlet? Maybe. I'll have to consider that. That might be worth my time to have just some secondary or tertiary hero with an army made up of goblins and a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, that could be worthwhile. Okay. In the meantime, though, let's pick up some more of these freebies. Oh, look, a observation tower. We're definitely going to want that. Look, another gold mine. Holy cow. So 1, 2, 3 gold mines? I don't think gold is going to be a problem this game. I know dragons are expensive, but the barbarian troops and the necromancer troops, they're fairly cheap. I think that with an additional 3 gold mines, I'm not going to have to worry about gold. That's not going to be a problem. It may be some of the more resource generating mines that'll give me some grief. Right now, I need more sulfur. I only have 1 sulfur mine. I only have 1 gem mine. If I can find more gems and if I can find more sulfur, that'd be more important than most anything else I could do right now. Because again, mage guilds aren't cheap. And why do I want more sulfur than gems? Because dragons aren't cheap and they cost sulfur for sure. We're not going to pick up the orcs here. Let's head this way as we distribute the hydras. Logistics. That's an excellent witch's hut, and we're going to plan on using that. Let's just have Ranlu take out these dwarves and maybe whatever's up there. Thundax, it looks like he can pick the pocket of these nomads, but I don't want him to try and fight for that artifact. And I don't think I want to pick up these rogues here now, do I? I don't know. I don't think gold will be a problem this scenario throughout, but right now it might be a problem. So we're going to be a little bit choosy about what we do or do not pick up. So we got a little bit more deep vision, unless there's an enemy hero coming through right here. If I only have 2 routes, maybe 3 that I need to worry about from the enemy coming in, that'll be really, really nice. The more choke points I have, the better. Pick up the campfire. Pick up the Shrine of the First Circle. We'll take a magic arrow. Sure, why not? And I need to actually start going towards my warlock town, and I'll probably start putting as much resources into the mage guild here as I possibly can. It's going to take, it looks like 4 turns to get there anyway. Let's let's plan on having a decent mage guild here if at all possible. But first, we need to get the dragons from red to black. Any other purchases in this town? I don't... I'm going to wait on the graveyard. I'll get the mummies. I'll get the upgraded mummies. I don't want to spend my precious resources when I might need them elsewhere later. But I got no problem spending gold right now. I do not. Okay, on to the next turn. And so I'm really happy to see this. I was worried that Gem would just eat it right now, that somebody would come out of the darkness and just end her run. Looks like some champions are guarding something here. As far as she can get along this road. Ooh, look, empty town. Is she gonna walk right into a town? No, there's gotta be somebody right here. There's got to be. There's no way that she's just going to get a free town. Is she? I kind of want to hit intern just so I can find out. Okay. And then let's have Ranlu carry on with his plan. Dwarfbane, run for your lives. I wonder how many fights we've avoided at this point. Looks like his boar's right here, and it's not for much. If Ranlu doesn't fight that fight, that won't hurt my feelings. But it's a water wheel. I think we're probably going to have some heroes doing the logistical back and forth this entire game, or at least until I feel like I'm comfortable enough to really push into the enemy. We'll see. As of right now, I'm glad that I've had these heroes just to really see what's in my home area to kind of secure the base of operations. But right now, it feels like I've got more heroes than I really need. Well, my good ones are, if you recall, Sabu at level 7, Alamar at level 4, Ranlu at level 5, and then Archibald, of course, and then Thundax is level 1. Maybe I'm going to use Thundax to try and do some exploring up north. I don't think I really need him. We may try and get that snake skin or that snake ring off of him. There's no sense in giving up a free artifact. Take the logistics, take the logistics. And so before he goes that way, make sure he stops in there. But yeah, I'm not going to purchase Medusas at this point. But there is my sulfur mine. Look at that. Pack of Medusas, sulfur mine, not a problem. Let's take care of this. Easy. And the logistics. Wisdom is good, but I think logistics will be more important, especially for a more of a strength-based hero. We'll eventually get the spells that we need. Wow, what a good little patch that is. And we were right, by the way. We see sulfur in piles, and that makes you think that maybe there's a sulfur mine right nearby. So we're going to get our second sulfur mine, and we're going to be in good shape. We're going to be in good shape, folks. This is shaping up to be an excellent scenario. I was worried, because it's week 2, day 3, I was worried we would have people just breathing down our necks already. I'm not saying that, you know, that we can relax, but this is not as bad as I thought it would be. I had originally pathed Roland through the fort and the mercenary camp. I think I want to take out these crusaders. This looks like a juicy pocket. It looks like I can choose either pack of crusaders to take all these resources. It looks like that is that's something right there. Is that a town? I can't tell what that is. But yeah, I am okay with pushing forward and getting some of this stuff taken care of. I will get the mutant zombies. It's 1,000 gold. We've got gold. And that's all for now. On to the next turn. Darn, Gem does not get a free town. That would have been heroic. As it is, that is certainly noteworthy. She did her job. She did very well. And I have no complaints about the way things went there. Let's pick up all this free sulfur. An icicle withstanding the full heat of the noonday sun attracts your attention. Intrigued, you break it off and find that it does not melt in your hand. The ever-cold icicle causes my cold spells to do 50% more damage to enemy troops. We'll pick up this campfire, this gold, that gold. Dragon Slayer, I think we have that somewhere, but maybe Sabu will need it sooner rather than later. Let's have Alamar just kind of get out of the way. I don't want to pick up rogues yet until we purchase dragons and the likes. The boars want to run. We are going to let them. Ridding the countryside of the hideous minotaur who made a sport of eating noblemen's knights, you are honored with the Medal of Distinction +1 morale. Thundax is going to pick up that logistics, and he's going to see if he can pull a gem and do something crazy. We're going to path through the alchemist lab just because it's quicker. The Crusaders, awed by the power of my forces, want to scatter. I am going to unfortunately have to pursue you. No losses. Oh, I thought that this was one big section here. It looks like you do have to defeat both the Crusaders and, you know, in both of these instances. There's a tree of knowledge here. How much experience do I need? I need a little bit of experience, like 1500 experience. I may be able to get this treasure chest to give me 1500 experience and then get the tree of knowledge. We'll see if we get lucky. Chances are not, but... A traveling merchant offers you a rabbit's foot made of gleaming silver fur for safe passage. The merchant explains the charm will increase your luck in combat. That is +1 to luck. We might as well clear out the doors. Or the boars, excuse me. I'm thinking that all these hydras can probably clear out these minotaurs. Let's kind of help. Let's let Alamar fight that fight if that's what's going to happen in a second here. Other purchases to make. I do want the Warlock Town to be the primary mage guild. Ooh, Town Gate, terrific. Okay, Town Gate is the lesser version of Town Portal. Still very serviceable spell. This spell can make sure that we get out of trouble in a hurry. And then the Mass Slow, I am not sad to see that at all. So we need to get Archibald back there as soon as we possibly can. No other purchases to make. No other purchases to make. We will buy the... We've got 60 wood. We'll buy the Thieves Guild just because. So for the first time we see the enemy hero green. Looks like green, wow. Looks like green is wizards. And they are angry. They've already got titans. It's a good thing we've got dragons, but I'm guessing that they have a mix of attack and defense on those heroes anyway. And that's nothing to sneeze at. We'll take freebies here. Lots of freebies. And then we'll start pathing towards these nomads. Now I'm wondering, I just realized, it looks like there's this junction in the path. Does this road go through to here? I'm guessing it does. And so if we just saw a whole lot of heroes come this way, maybe there's nobody over here. Maybe this other hero can get some great information. If he had scouting, that would be the best. But maybe Thundax can help me a lot here. I'll take the loss of the one skeleton. The net gain of 1. We'll take the ballistics. And some of these freebies. A brief stop at an improbable rural inn yields an exchange of money, tails, and accidentally luggage. You find a magical skull cap in your new backpack. I always thought it would be funny if the artifacts with situations like that, it's like, oh no, I lost my luggage and now it costs me 500 gold to pick up this skull cap. I just thought that'd be just a fun little thing. But this halves the casting cost of all mind influencing spells. And that's actually really good because that's things like blind, paralyze, berserk. There's a couple of really good mind influencing spells, and so having to cast those at half cost is really good. You'd think the curse would fall into that category. It doesn't though. Oh, look at this. It worked out perfectly. We got the 1500 experience. We got one new level. We're going to take the luck because that'll help our dragons out the most. And then we're going to pick up this tree of knowledge. Never mind. You need 10 gems. How close am I? I've got 9 gems. I'm going to trade for the 1 gems because I just don't want to come back. That's really the biggest thing, is I just don't want to come back. Do I take the pathfinding? I don't know. I see a lot of grass and I've seen a little bit of swamp. I think I have to take the pathfinding because if I don't and I end up running into bad terrain later, I will be kicking myself. And so I've got to. I just absolutely have to. Okay. And then Alamar is going to be ready to take on these Minotaurs very soon. And Sabu, how close is he? He's fairly far away from the next level, so we're not going to pay 10 gems for him, though. Nope, not a chance. It is not happening. After scouring the area, you fall upon a hidden chest containing the ancient artifact, Golden Bow. This eliminates the 50% penalty for your troops shooting past obstacles, like castle walls. And this is a little concerning. You see that? See that? Hold on. I'm going to do something fun. See that right there? That gives me a lot of concern. That gives me a lot of concern because that makes me think that water is going to be kind of important in this map. And that doesn't make me feel terrific. Really, that means that maybe the enemy has a route to drop in behind me. Maybe we have the King's Road, the Queen's Road, and the Vikings Road. That's a little concerning. We will wait to find out more. We don't have any gems, so we're not going to be purchasing any gold mines at this time. Let's skip on to the next turn. Green is being proactive. Thundax does live another day, but not for long. Do we just use him? I think we do. I think that we try and get as much information as possible, and that'll actually waste Tyro's turn a little bit as well. We're gonna let that happen. Oh, we will let Alamar fight this fight. I know he wants to, and he is the higher level hero anyway. Darlena will go through and clean up the artifacts, though. Hey, we'll take the free artifact. And then we have a Defender's Helmet Protection. A glint of golden light catches your eye. Upon further investigation, you find a golden helm hidden under a bush, +1 to defense. I'm not getting any large effect size artifacts that are plus attack skill, plus defense skill, but I'm getting a couple artifacts all the same. And I really got to get these over to Archibald. Let's hit K. And let's see, we have +2 spell power and no penalty for shooting, plus in the morale, +1 defense, +1 luck, and I guess everything else, when we had the +1 for the armored gauntlets. And I would rather have defense over attack skill, I think. It's very situational, actually. Generally, we can say, I would rather have knowledge over spell power, sure. And the reasoning is quite clear. You want to be able to cast more spells rather than have a high spell effect. You know, if it comes down to it, if you can only have one. Whether you take more attack skill or more defense skill, that's an entirely different and more situational story. It really depends on the troops you have, who's going to go first, where the losses are going to come from, etc., etc. Defense is usually prioritized over attack skill only because you're going to take some hits at some point. You're going to take some retaliation, and then winning the war of attrition is going to help make sure that you can keep fighting and stay out there longer. But it's difficult to say offhand which I would prefer in small effect sizes, because say that I run across an enemy that's got a defense skill of 9 or 10 or 12. My dragon's effectiveness is going to go way, way down. If they've got a high defense skill, you're going to want enough attack skill to at least counteract that a little bit. Okay. Let's see what's over here. The Crusaders want to run. Once again, we're not going to let them run. It's day 6, huh? It's day 6, huh? Okay. So let's get ourselves our third gold mine. This is pretty terrific. I'm not going to fight this fight. I don't care if Alamar gets the experience or not. But getting that third gold mine, our income is through the roof. A 4th gold mine! Really? A 4th gold mine. Pack of water elementals, we can beat that. Not a problem. We'll take that out. We're not going to waste our time with the campfire. It looks like these crystals are here, and I'm wondering, is there a crystal mine? There is. Ooh, and some additional mercury from the power liches. Again, I'd prefer a combat-based artifact, but we'll take what we can get. We're going to need more gems. We're going to need a bigger boat. We do lose Thundax. Do I take out these liches now? I think so. They're right along the way. A brief stop at a hastily abandoned wizard's tower turns up a magical vial of mercury that always has a little left on the bottom. Recognizing a treasure when you see one, you cap it and slip it into your pocket. That's +1 mercury per day. We're going to take the experience. We're going to take the scouting. I don't want to play a diplomacy game. I do not. I do not. Looks like we could have picked up archery, but we don't there. And so we were right, though. Crystal, crystal, crystal by a crystal mine, and then mercury by the alchemist lab. I love it when I'm right. I love it when I'm right. Okay, we do need to drop off these creatures here. Actually, I guess Darlena could have done that. She'll just pick up these. We'll have Ranlu in position to do some movement later. I'm going to take the gold because I'm about to pick up a new bit of experience here at the tree. For free, I'll get the 3600 experience. I might as well take it. We'll take the ballistics. In reward for helping his cart out of a ditch, a traveling potion salesman gives you a magic gold watch. Unbeknownst to him, the watch really is magical. So if we get Hypnotize, this is one of the few times where I'm happy to see Hypnotize because the gold watch doubles the effectiveness of your Hypnotize spells. Hypnotize is actually kind of useful, surprisingly. We're already full. I don't really care what this witch's hut is. And I already have logistics available somewhere, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, we're going to be here for just a second. We are blue. And so we are in the middle of the road as far as Kingdom Army strength. We somehow, despite having 3 gold mines, have the least amount of income. We have found the least amount of artifacts, which is good knowledge, because what that means to me is that anytime that we see an enemy, we need to do our absolute best to make sure that they don't run away, because there's a chance we're going to get some really good artifacts. And that does mean, though, that we're going to have to be choosy as far as what artifacts do we have Archibald adventure forth with. Because if he loses some artifacts just because he was out there and he didn't get to pick up some artifacts as they fell off the enemy hero as they escaped the field of battle, that'll be very sad. Very, very concerning. This is interesting to me. Number of heroes. We have 5 heroes and somehow we are 4th. So even at worst, we have 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, that's got to be it, because the max amount of heroes you can have adventuring at any one time is 8. So red has 8 heroes. Oh, never mind. I'm red. Oh, no. Let's go through this again. I'm red. And so my income is second to last. Yay. My total army strength is actually the best. And I do have the most artifacts. I'm doing really good on gold in the treasury. This is actually better for me. And yes, I am red with 5 heroes. That means that green and orange have 4 or less. I'm guessing that since Roland is blue, he's probably the only hero there. Maybe he has one other hero with him. Tough to say. Okay. Interesting. But then as far as Roland, he's going to be very strong at that final battle. He's going to have Titans. He's going to have plenty of attack skill, plenty of defense skill, plenty of power, plenty of knowledge. And in the meantime, Tyro, we just saw Tyro. He's up here. He just took out Thundax. He is actually the strongest hero for yellow. I don't know if we've seen Flint or if we've seen Astra for green or orange respectively. But maybe they were these heroes over here. And we need to be careful about over there. Interesting. We know that there's towns kind of in this area here. Like, I think it was 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe we need to push in and get some night towns just so we can start generating some resources. If we can come at Roland with a whole fistful of Crusaders, I'd be feeling pretty good about myself. So let's go back, pick up the Mage Guild, but otherwise let's press forward. It's week 3. It's time to start rocking and rolling. Especially since that Oracle just told us that, hey, you've got the strongest army right now. We better use it before we lose our advantage. Where was that? Oh, that's over here. There's strongest hero there. And the strongest hero for green. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Archibald, get back as soon as possible and then get to that road when we can. That's going to be our plan. If we can pick up some great spells, I'll be pretty darn happy, especially because we've got so much spell power. We have so much knowledge. That's what we're going to do. Darlene is going to pop in. She's going to drop off these Hydras. Somehow these Hydras got here only 1 turn before they would have if they were with Archibald. Weird. Very strange. And then Darlena is going to go from the east to the west, picking up freebies. I'm going to have Ranlu go back to his necromancy town. Almar needs to drop off the Hydras. And Sabu is... he's just doing what he does. I don't even know what he's doing right now, but he's out there and he's doing it. So we'll let Sabu do Sabu things moving forward. I really want this 5th level Mage Guild. It's going to take a while to get the gems, but we do have the 3 marketplaces. We'll probably end up trading for it. Wow, look at all this gold we have. With 8,000 gold income per day, we may just start trading gold for gems. That really might happen. Let's see if that happens sooner rather than later. Okay, so the enemies are pushing down the King's Road. That was the King's Road we just saw there. Picking up the Alchemist Lab. Picking up this artifact. A walk across a dry saltwater lake bed yields an unlikely prize. A white pearl amidst shattered shells and debris. The white pearl is a +1 to knowledge, +1 to spell power. That is my least favorite artifact, by the way. Not because I don't like the effect. I love the effect. A +1 knowledge and +1 spell power. That's really good. But the thing I dislike about it is that it's a little bit of a tongue twister. Shattered shells and debris. I have to say it slow, otherwise I will make an absolute fool of myself. So I think, is it an actual Sally sold seashells by the seashore kind of tongue twister? I think so. I think that they did that on purpose. Okay, we have all of our magic points. We don't need to stay here the night, so we are going to walk away with this Mage Guild today, and we're going to trade wood to do it. We need 6 gems. Let's trade that much wood, 2 mercury, and we'll trade 1 more wood. And we get our 5th level Mage Guild in this town. Let's see what we got. Hypnotize. What did we just say about that golden watch? Generally, I look at Hypnotize as an absolute waste of a spell. Because of that artifact, it becomes somewhat usable. Not the best, but somewhat usable. If I had a Berserk, I would actually prefer to have the Berserk spell because of this. Berserk will affect more people. It has less limiting factors on it. Hypnotize, you have to have a certain amount of spell points to take control of a certain number of hit points in a stack. Okay, well, not every hero has 25 spell points that they can then use to get a stack of 10 Cyclopses. Okay, but pretty much anybody can learn Berserk and then cast that, and then it does just about the same thing. It wastes that creature's turn, takes out one of their high priority targets, so on and so forth. But there's a little bit more control with the Hypnotize. I think it still only lasts 1 turn, but maybe not. I need to actually test this. I don't use Hypnotize that often because I don't think it's that good of a spell. To be honest, I will probably have to give it a shot now. 7 black dragons. Okay, now we're talking. On top of everything else we've got going on, we're not going to. We can't get the Minotaurs, which is a little unfortunate. But we will wait on them for another time. I think I'm still going to stick with the Power Liches as some shooters right now. That's going to draw some attention, and they are very tanky as far as shooters go. Again, we don't need to wait Let's push off towards the enemy now. I don't know if they can feel it. Feel what, you say? I don't know if they can feel this big storm coming. Oh, buddy, but it's coming. We're going to get our power liches now. Maybe I can even purchase these 8 power liches and get them from Ranlu over to Archibald in just a second. I need to get... Alamar needs to meet up with Archibald to hand over artifacts. Where is he? There he is. So let's intern now. And then before we forget, let's do that at this current juncture. And so we're going to hand over all these artifacts. Are there any that we don't want? You know what? We're going to do something sneaky. This tax lien is still costing us money. Do I even have a bless spell? I don't even know if I have a bless spell. I think I do. I think I have a mass bless somewhere. Anyway, I do have the expert leadership, and so I'm... With the Medal of Distinction, I have Blood Morale. I'm going to keep all these artifacts here. I'm going to take all of them. Mind influencing spells. Hypnotize is one of them. These 2 artifacts together make Hypnotize a little bit attractive as an option. We're going to have Alamar go and try and trade with Darlena, and I'm just going to send Darlena into the enemy, and I'm going to hand deliver that birthday gift that I gave to Archibald at the very beginning of this scenario, because I don't want it. And he can't stop me. I think that Alamar can reach that far next turn. Let's pick up the power liches. We're going to upgrade these liches because gold is not really an issue in this campaign. Let's get our bone dragons. Anything else? Might as well pick up the vampire lords. We'll upgrade the zombies. And we're going to end up leaving these royal mummies, but that'll be okay. And let's see if we can get over to the big guy before he heads off. Okay, glorious victory. We'll take out all those. Okay, hold on. We've got ruins here to recruit Medusas and ruins here. So add that to the list of creatures I can get a huge stack of if I really try. Speaking of stacks of creatures I can get if I try, we're going to pick up some Ogre Lords, which I'm never sad to see. They recognize me as the Dwarfbane and lumber over to join me. I now have 14 additional Ogre Lords I did not have before, and a 4th gold mine. Oof, I have a 4th gold mine. I should start considering upgrading this Mage Guild, I think. I think I should. I'm going to need the resources, and Archibald is not going to... He's not going to come back for a second, but once he does, that's going to be what he gets. Let's just make sure. We do have the Town Gate spell. And that's going to be our get out of jail free card. So long as we have Town Gate, Archibald's never going to be too in trouble. Okay, and let's press into the enemy territory. This is getting exciting. I think in the next couple of days, probably... Maybe not by the end of this week, but maybe by the end of next week, we're going to find either we're in big trouble or we are going to completely blunt the enemy's offensive firepower. While waiting out a storm, a lightning bolt strikes a nearby cottage's lightning rod, which melts and falls to the ground. The tip of the rod, however, survives intact and makes your hair stand on end when you touch it. Plus 50% more damage to enemy troops when you cast lightning bolt spells. Basic estates, sure, why not? And there's an additional sulfur mine. Okay. Oh dear, Astrolabe. Again, I see a lot of objects in the water. I do think I have a summoned boat. I think it's in the Necromancer town. I do have a summoned boat, but you need to have another boat already purchased once in order to use summoned boat, so we'll have to come back to that later. Darlena's going to get the tax lien, and she is going to hopefully die soon. Let's see how it goes. Ranlu needs to drop off some power liches, because every little bit helps. And then his job is to just defend the fort. Probably I'm actually going to send him over this way. Yeah, Ranlu's going to go over here to make sure that nobody pops in through the sorceress side of things, or rather, what is it called? The Queen's Road. Really sad that I can't reach Flint this turn, but I'm going to press forward, and at the very least, I'm going to scare him really bad. Maybe... I don't think that they have vision at this point, and so I don't think that he's going to press into Darlena, but he might. That would be a little bit sad. I don't want to lose her yet. I want her to get some scouting off into the unknown. And then otherwise, I think it's time for Alamar to start collecting troops. We're not going to collect peasants. That's just going to waste our time. But we're going to get watchtowers, wagon camps, goblin huts, and ruins. And we're going to see if we can generate some kind of weird conglomerate army from here on out. So. Interesting. Interesting. Do you see that? Tyro is looking like he's trying to challenge me. And that's a little scary, actually, because he is the strongest yellow hero. But Flint was the strongest green hero. Do I have the spells as Archibald to fight these fights with impunity? Mass Slow, a blind, hypnotize. I think that the Mass Slow, the paralyze, the blind, I think that those are enough. And right now I can control a stack of up to 500 hit points worth of creatures. I think we can fight this fight. Yep, I think we should fight this fight. Let's do it. Okay, the enemy has fled, and it says we're going to lose a couple of dragons and 100 gargoyles, my word. Let's fight this fight and let's do better. As far as the army size goes, I'm not too concerned. This is all very doable. 6 attack and 10 defense, though. Blood morale, we are going to have to be very careful. That blood morale is going to be highly concerning. Our spells, look at this, the paralyze costs only 4 spell points instead of 9 because we have that skull cap. The blind is 3 instead of 6. The hypnotize is 7 instead of 14. And the hypnotize with 500 hit points, that could control 50 rangers. It could control 25 veteran pikemen. Maybe if we get some stacks really low, we'll be able to do something fancy. Otherwise, let's hit the mass slow. Let's just slow things down. Our power liches are going to take out these rangers, and we're going to make them fight the fight by coming over to us. They can curse my troops as much as they want. That's not going to bother me. But with the mass slow, they're not going to be able to get good morale and then get the drop on me next turn. And that is something I'm very happy for. Take out pretty much all your rangers. Ooh, they still did a lot of damage. That 6 attack is pretty useful for them. I do have the opportunity, and I'm going to take it, to do some serious double breath damage. I've got the opportunity, and I am going to take it. I'm probably going to wait on a paralyze or a blind until this first little bit of damage shakes out. I'm only going to kill 2 to 5 of these crusaders. That's a little concerning. Maybe I should paralyze them now. If I paralyze them, then I'm not going to take the retaliation on these dragons. 17 attack, 17 defense. It's going to be a wash as far as the damage goes. Yeah, but the champions... Let's do that. Let's cast the paralyze now. There's maybe a better option, but right now that feels fairly reasonable. Let's cover up some of these other troops. The Minotaurs, I just want to keep them within striking distance. And there's striking distance right there. Ooh, that's wonderful. And it still only killed 6 crusaders. My goodness. If you wonder if attack skill and defense skill matter, there's your example right there. We are going to get the opportunity to attack and flame breath these troops again. I know I'm going to take some serious damage from the swordsmen and the pikemen if I do that, though. Is that worth it? Maybe not. Maybe not. If I was the champions and if I do attack the Crusaders from this angle, I would just move forward, and that would prevent my 1, 2, 3 Master Swordsman from getting a shot anyway. I think that we're just going to end up taking some losses here, just in the interest of being the most effective with our shots. Okay, I'm not going to do it twice though. Yeah, I'm not going to do that twice. Okay. And we took out the entire stack of the Crusaders. Yep, I do like that haste. That haste on those Master Swordsmen I think is a great choice. Ooh, that kind of irks me a little bit that they ran after that, but understandable. I was not too far away from popping off with blinds and paralyzes. We take some less damage, but we kill less troops and we get less experience. Overall, I'm glad that they ran because of this. That means that the AI is doing very, very good. And I like when the AI is doing good. I don't want a pushover AI, and it's worth noting that the FHeroes2 team has really done a lot to make sure that the AI is stupendous. Just while I'm thinking about it, I just upgraded, by the way. If you go to the link in the description, it's the GitHub link. I am currently playing on version 1.0.10 of the FHeroes2. I was playing off of the 0.08 version. I completely skipped the 0.9 version, and so that was my bad. I've been playing on outdated software. But one of the best new things that came out with this patch was, well, two things off the top of my head. Number one, you can re-interact with any object on the map using this button here. The horse will be reared up and then you can re-engage without hitting spacebar. That's nice. That is a new thing with the FHeroes2 team that they came out with that was not in the original. And then also the enemy will be able to trade for resources to benefit their towns. If they are short on sulfur, they are going to trade resources that they do have to make sure that their towns are being built correctly. So very big upgrades. That is not a small change to the AI, its behavior, and the way that it plays. So FHeroes2 team is doing a great job. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you love Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and you're not playing the FHeroes2 version, what are you doing? Let's take this fight here. I'm only going to fight this fight. The losses look good because this is their toughest hero, and I want to see if I can keep Flint from running. That's pretty important to me. Let's see. Can I kill 20 Magi? I cannot. Let's kill as many of them as we can. It's 14. 21 boars. Can I kill 139? I'm going to be able to kill all of these halflings with these gargoyles. Can I kill 20 rocks with 12 black dragons? I'm thinking probably so. So what I'm thinking is this. How about we... Should we slow? No, because we're going to have to deal with all these at some point. Well, okay, how about this? Let's is there anybody that I can hypnotize? Yeah, these halflings. Let's click off of that. I don't want to cast that right now. Let's paralyze. Let's paralyze the boars and then hope that these 12 dragons can kill these 20 rocks, and let's see if we can get some damage off this way. Oh, terrific. Yeah. And then I'm gonna make sure that we can kill all these rocks, because the power liches are going to take out this one last halfling and they're not going to get to run. So this took a little bit of finagling, but with the paralyze, we're able to do this. Now this should not be any problem taking out these boars. Easy, easy. And now let's see if we're able to get any artifacts back from this. Divine Breastplate of Protection, +3 defense. That's excellent. Major Scroll of Knowledge, very welcome. Book of Elements, so summoning spells are better off. And unfortunately, we do lose a couple of artifacts. We are now full up, but I am very happy to see the +3. That is huge, absolutely huge. Let's have Darlena go to the left. Where Archibald went to the right, she will go to the left and see what's over here. Ranlu is continuing his journey. Alamar's already got things to do. And then Sabu is doing Sabu things in the middle of the swamp. That's all I can really say about Sabu right now. An old sea captain is being tortured by ogres. You save him, and in return, he rewards you with a wondrous instrument to measure the distance of a star. So when I get on the ocean, this is going to be a good artifact. Until then, just kind of useless. I think I've got plenty of gold. Let's take the experience. And Sabu does not have, he does have basic wisdom, so we are going to stop in at this Shrine of the Third Circle. That might still prove useful. Nothing to purchase there. Can we get our Mage Guild yet? Nope. Anything to purchase here? We'll get the right turret. Just for now. Uh-oh. View Heroes. We're going to cast View Heroes today for 2 spell points. Okay, so it looks like blue has exactly 2 heroes. 1, 2. But the castle was over here. So Archibald has to be over here, and then over here there's got to be some other hero that excuse me, I said Archibald, that Roland has. Roland's got to be here, and his secondary hero's got to be up here, and probably has access to like some mines or some resource generating objects. 1, 2, 3, 4 orange heroes. Wow, there's an orange hero waiting to jump onto the road here. Green, green, and green. And then yellow. Yellow only has 2 heroes right now. Yeah, yellow only has 2 heroes right now. Okay, this is doable. And that gives me a lot of good information. If I can take out this orange hero, then we'll be really doing well. And orange's main hero is Astra, by the way. So if we see Astra, we'll take care of business there. Thankfully, I don't see any other action in the ocean or in the sea. That would be a little bit of a concern. See if we can get this Tree of Knowledge. For 2,000 gold, we'll take the extra scouting. And then Alamar. We're going to start picking up so many ragtag troops. Again, Ranlu is here to make sure, because we know there's an orange hero just like right here next to the Queen's Road. We're going to have him be in somewhat of a defensive position. He's probably going to go pick up some additional barbarian troops to supplement that army. I'm not going to fight that battle with peasants. I just don't care. Wow, there's a lot to do in these towns. I do have some ore, but I want to make sure I get my mage guilds before I do anything else, truly. Let's work on this. Take out the griffins. We probably have a long way to go towards our next level. Only about 1,000 experience. This Tree of Knowledge is not going to be very useful at this point. Let's get the graveyard and the treasure chest, and maybe we'll go back. I know that Wilfrey is right here, but he only has halflings. I thought he would have a more tough army. I think that Darlena can just stay ahead of him. And if she just runs right through and doesn't stop like that, then she's doing her job, and she's doing just fine. I don't really care if Wilfrey gets into here too far. If he does, Alamar can easily dispatch him post haste. Let's pick up these. Maybe Wilfrey will just run back. Maybe he'll try and pursue. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll even catch him. Okay. Okay. On to the next turn. Oh, so Orange's hero turned back, and they're coming straight towards Darlena. And then this hero, Halon, he is a pretty tough hero. Look at that. Several titans. Several titans. You know what? And I'm in a position where I can't cast Town Gate because it's going to take me here. It's not going to get me out of here. I think I'm going to have to fight this fight. Several titans. If I build the castle, which I just did, and I pick up another hero, we're going to pick up... doesn't really matter. We'll pick up Roxana. And we pick up any peasants if at all possible. There are none to be had. Split off these stacks of skeletons. Let's see if we can figure out what we're up against, potentially. Let's fight this fight ourselves. 9 Titans against, what, 20 Black Dragons? I'm not saying that this is an easy fight, but this is doable. 3 attack, 3 defense, and that was the big thing. If he had 9 attack, 9 defense, I'd be really concerned. But this army, I can definitely take this. I'm not worried about this at this point. I was worried about it. I'm not worried about it now. So Roxana will flee, but I feel a lot better fighting that fight, and I'm not going to try and, like, turtle up. Let me make sure Sabu has room. Since we're picking up rogues anyway, we might as well start helping out a little bit. But that, you know, we were cornered, but this is the difference between, okay, do I run for the castle and then just like try and defend, or do I, you know, pick up these freebies and lackadaisically get there when I feel like it. Uh-oh. You spend several hours searching the graves, find nothing. Such a despicable act reduces your army's morale. That's -1 to my morale. I still have +2 morale, but especially since there's this big fight right now, that's a little sad. I mean, somebody else came through and got that first. We should be able to get about 1,000 experience points here. At least 1,000 experience points here, and then we can take that tree in just a second. Now, what's the best spell for me? Mass Slow is always a winner. I cannot blind or paralyze the Titans because they are immune to mind spells. But you can curse them. You can slow them. How many am I going to kill? 1. Maybe 1. Wow, really? Only maybe 1. Well, I mean, they have a very high defense skill, to be fair. In fact, they have a higher defense skill than I have attack skill. Let's do the Mass Slow. It's never a bad thing to give yourself some freedom insofar as that's concerned. The reason I have this huge stack of gargoyles is exactly for a time like this. They're going to ruin the Archmage's day, but everybody else is going to focus on these Titans. That was close. I almost sent the gargoyles up to the Titans. Yikes. Really what I'm concerned about is what spells is Halon the Wizard going to be coming at me with in just a second. 10 to 21 rocks. How are the Minotaur Kings doing more damage than a stack of... Never mind. I don't want to think about it. Let's work on these rocks. And then... Oh, I guess I've painted myself into a corner with these power liches. I can't really attack anywhere without also blowing my own guys up. Let's just move them to the top. Paralyze. Good spell. Good spell. And even though they're no longer paralyzed because the mages took a swipe at them, they did lose the opportunity to retaliate. So I'm going to start thinking about this way. I have to take out the Titans, otherwise he's always going to be able to run. I don't think I could stop him from running at this point. Because again, paralyze won't work on him. I can Disrupting Ray though. Let's Disrupting Ray. Maybe with the Disrupting Ray I'll be able to do enough bonus damage that I can really just kind of burn through these Titans. Because I think that the Minotaur Kings can deal... They did not, but they could potentially kill all of those Seal Golems. Can I kill 4 Titans? No, I cannot. He's going to get the opportunity to run. There's nothing I can do about it. And so I'm not going to blow up my own troops just for that. Okay, but we did the best we could do. We did pick up the +1 knowledge. And then there's Wilfrey. Darlena is a lost cause either way. It's happening. There is Orange's toughest hero. That's very good to know. And I don't want Astra to go back this way if at all possible. I want to push her towards Archibald, if at all possible. Let's go pick up that Tree of Knowledge, though. I think that's more important at this time. But let's have Ranlu get ready to defend the Queen's Road just in case. And that brings us to the end of week 3. Do they have a Death Wish? Look at this. Look at this. They're coming straight for us. And I have plenty of spell points. I am going to pick up a new hero. It's Roxana. We're going to pick up Roxana. Actually, maybe, hold on. Let's check. Are there any heroes that have free artifacts or are leveled up? And the answer is no. But she's going to just pick up some of the artifacts I don't really love. I do like the luck. I don't think I need to worry about fire spells. Not at this time. Not when my main stack is Black Dragons. The Book of Elements, I don't really have any summoning spells right now. The +1 defense, I need every little bit of combat stat I could possibly get. The Bless with the Snake Ring, I don't need that though. This will potentially give me 3 new artifacts. And maybe we can do some damage with that. The enemy has fled. Let's see if we can prevent that. Probably not. I would need maybe a Chain Lightning here to really make that happen. I don't even know what spells I need to, wow, try and make that happen. Look at that, 7 defense. Oh boy. Somebody ate their Wheaties today. I'm very aware, by the way, that I've got people, mostly the percentage of people in America or the United States that watch my videos, according to the YouTube, analytics, is actually fairly low, which I really love, because Heroes of Might and Magic 2 in Europe is huge. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's like the first game that some people just ever played in parts of Europe. And I love that I'm getting interaction from real, folks who know what they're doing, folks who that's their pastime. There's a funny story I heard told that some Americans were going through some Eastern countries, and there was a burger joint in some Eastern country, and everybody was happy to hear that there were some Americans because they were the experts on whether or not the burgers were good or not, and they could give their opinions. Well, I'm glad that there's some people out there who are experts at Heroes of Might and Magic, and they can give me their opinion on what's good and what's not good. So that's the way I look at it. I'm grateful that I'm getting some interaction from some real experts on the subject. So every little bit helps, and I appreciate that very, very much. Okay, we are on to a new day, but this is the end of week 4. Great, now she runs from me. I gotta tell you, I was kind of hoping that there would be a town or a ship somewhere up here so I could really kind of continue this journey. But alas, there's nothing. There's just not much of anything here. So let's get these black dragons. Well, look, I mean, so Sabu has done his job. He's cleared out the swamps. You can have anybody go through these swamps now because they're unguarded. I think it's Sabu's job now to pick up this army that Ranlu was going to take and then use those to go up this road. The only thing that I feel a little bit bad about is that Sabu does not have a whole ton of spell points, but he's an excellent hero. At level 13, he can handle just about anything that's coming his way. I think that he could take on Astra himself without much issue. So let's give him the opportunity if that's where things go. Let's actually have Roxana just hang out. I can reach her now. Will I be able to reach her if I pick up this town on the way through? I think so. I've got very fast units, and I've got that artifact that's the true compass of mobility. No, the traveler's boots. Yep, so I will be able to reach her at this point. Let's fight this fight. Every time the enemy runs without doing a whole ton of damage, they're just losing all these troops, and I'm instantly winning the war of attrition until I roast my own power liches. Thanks, Phoenixes. You guys are real pals. Maybe I can keep her from running, though. Let's take out this stack of unicorns. Maybe I can torch this whole stack of greater druids. I cannot. Wow, that's very surprising, actually. I thought that would be no problem. I know that there's centaur or cavalries here, so I can't get through there. There's no enemies just camped out right in there. Let's make sure Ruby doesn't ride at my back and distress the local combatants. Alamar needs to continue his journey of picking up extra troops. I think I had him on the road there just in case he needed to defend, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. Let's pick up all the Cyclops, upgrade the orcs. We're going to take the war trolls. Yep, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to take the ogres, the Ogre Lords. How do I do this? I gotta dismiss the goblins, pick up the Ogre Lords, and then go. And then we're gonna head out this way, and then they're gonna meet up with Sabu. We're gonna do a big switch, and then Sabu's gonna go on his merry way. That's the plan. Roxanna's gonna hang out here and make sure that nothing too terrible happens, but I'm going to trust that Archibald will come and really take out Ruby. I'm actually gonna move a little bit closer just because that way, if Archibald can get to like here, and then I can pick up troops and then attack Ruby, I don't think that she's going to be able to defeat the army size. I don't think she's that good of a hero. Oh, did you see that? There is an enemy hero right in here. That's interesting. Huh. Very interesting. Okay, so let's get Archibald to see how far he can get, and that is about as far as he can get. I don't think... Well, and I'll tell you, I don't think it's wise to leave Archibald undefended. Let's have Roxanna run right by. And then I anticipate that Ruby will take this town, and maybe Sir Gallant will attack Roxanna and then just die immediately to Archibald. Sabu needs to push. We're not going to accept those goblins at this time. Here, here, here. And I do want the bone dragons. You have leadership, don't you? Sabu does not have leadership. Oh, in that case, he cannot take the bone dragons. That is as too much negative morale. But everything else will be okay. Everything else will be fine. And then Ranlu's job is now to go through the swamps, picking up whatever creatures he can. You know, I wonder what the AI is thinking at this point. I mean, starting off, immediately, they're having to deal with an enemy that starts off with this huge stack of dragons and minotaurs and things like that. Do they think it's unfair? I think I would think it's unfair. I'm going to purchase the statue here just so that way they don't purchase like a moat or fortifications when it's their turn. I don't really know how the AI quote-unquote thinks, I suppose, is one thing that I wonder. Is it just a list of checks and balances? Is it, you know, ones and zeros that say if then, like if this is happening, then do this. If this is not happening, then do that. It was Wilfrey who was in the uncharted territory. And if that's how you design the AI, here's my question. The enemy has fled, we're going to allow him to flee. If that's how it is, then how in the world can you possibly, we're going to allow that as well? Plan for every situation that might come up. Like, how is the AI going to plan for, well, the enemy hero started off with like 20 black dragons. I don't know what we're going to do here, but I think we're just going to roll over and die. Because really, that's kind of what this is looking like so far. They've not been able to effectively marshal their troops. I know that there's all this space on this very large map. There's all of this space with all these castles, with all these weeks of growth, but they're not able to effectively marshal them to the front of the lines. They're not just being sent directly into my towns at this point. And I mean, that's how you've got to win this scenario if you're them, I would think. What? Oh, you've got Dimension Door. That's the first instance of the enemy using Dimension Door that I have seen, and it looked a little funky. That looked a little bit weird. They walked away from the town. Well, let's see. They were like, right, they walked here, Dimension Doored, here, and then Dimension Doored back. That's a little interesting. I don't know what to make of that. I do not know what to make of that. But that does tell me that they have been using their marketplaces to get the resources that they don't have, because now they have 5th level mage guilds, and I need to go get them now. So that is the AI working and doing well, actually, and I'm happy to see that. Wonderful. Okay. Let's go get Medusas. And then I know that there's... I think there was 4 towns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go right here. And maybe there's a town in here that I need to take out. There is a town in here. Let's take this town. Maybe I'm going to end up getting a huge stack of knights. As of right now, I'm not working very hard to upgrade these towns, but maybe I should. How much experience do I need? Oh, about 1,000. I'm going to wait on this tree of knowledge. Nah, I won't wait. Well, that's perfect then. We got just enough. My math was terribly wrong. For 2,000 gold, I'll take 5,200 experience. Even if the secondary skills are not super great, the +1 to attack, the +1 to defense, knowledge, etc., those are always excellent. And then, oh, did they just turn this from a castle into a town? I think that they did. These are acceptable losses. No, the tax lien, it's back! I worked so hard to get rid of that. I worked so hard to get rid of that. You know what? At this point, I'm not messing around. Hey. Dimitri, you got one job. That's your job. Get out of my sight and never come back. Because as far as I'm aware, I now have gotten rid of that negative 250 gold for sure. And I'm quite happy for that. Look, Sabu's got this side of the map all stitched up. Let's head over here with Roland, or excuse me, with Archibald. I'm not a double agent. Archibald's job is to make sure that the King's Road is covered, and Sabu's job is to make sure that the Queen's side is okay. It doesn't have to be great, it just has to be okay. And maybe we can get some additional support over to him at some point. We're gonna unfortunately get rid of the gargoyles and the centaurs and start picking up some of these. Not there. Right here. Oh, that is wonderful. That is a change with the FHeroes2 edition. It did not used to tell me how many goblins were available. That is so nice. It tells you when it's empty. It tells you when there's any available. Now, that's because I visited these this week. When the new week hits in one turn, will it still say empty, or will it just say Goblin Hut and say, I don't know, who knows how many there are? And if I don't visit this, will this say 32, or will it say Goblin Hut, who knows how many there are? Just because it'll be a new week. That's a great question. I don't know the answer, and I want to find out. Wagon camp. Yeah, we gotta stop by for that wagon camp. Let's take out Rialdo. No problem. And then I've got plenty of spell points. I've got 130. Let's push up the road and see what I can find. I'm not feeling threatened at all. I'm not feeling threatened at all. Maybe it's a false sense of security. Oh no. After regular growth, the population of wolves is doubled. That's really unfortunate because I've got all these secondary heroes trying to run around and get through. And now they have to actually fight troops just to re-clear those paths. That's not very fun. Ooh. Oh dear. Okay, so Rebecca is actually a pretty good fight. She does flee, but let's see if we can do this much better. She's got some troops, but this is not the best I've ever seen. Wow, I gotta keep my black dragons away from my power liches. I keep roasting my power liches for free. I can't accept those losses anymore. Not a lot of attack, not a lot of defense, but then again, I don't have a lot of that either. Let's plan on a paralyze on the druids. And then let's work on these unicorns here. I'll kill 18 to 16. Let's do that. I think that these phoenixes are going down right now. And then that's actually a big stack of battle dwarves. And I don't mind if the sprites attack the power liches here. I would rather take the hit and not take the hit from the battle dwarves. More than anything, let's just keep working on these unicorns. Or let's take out the sprites right now. That works out just fine. And then there's a chance. Here's the deal. Dwarves have a 25% chance to resist any spell cast upon them. If they resist this now, that's going to ruin my plans. They do not. Okay. And then the rest of my troops are going to be able to just deal with this stack here. We may keep casting paralyzes to make sure that she does not run. But we've got plenty of time. And plenty of manpower. Ooh. Wow. I am losing dragons. I am losing dragons. We're going to wait one turn before we go here. And actually, there's not a lot of troops I can use. It's got to be just the 2 dragons are going to have to do the damage. So let's see how many spell points. Let's do some lightning bolts. They don't get to move this turn. And then we do make sure that there's no running for Rebecca. And 7,000 experience points. We will take it. Spiked Helm, +1 to defense and attack. Great. Endless card of War. Not too bad. Evil Eye. Some of these are not bad. Some of these are pretty not okay. She's back. Folks, you remember Darlena. I'm not even going to give her the time of day. She doesn't deserve it. We're going to pick up... Let's take... Sandro, because Sandro's cooler. Even though he's got slower troops, he can't get out this turn anyway. Archibald is blocking the exit. But we are going to pick up the Ore Cart and the Evil Eye. I don't think I need this additional 3 knowledge. Do you? No, I think you will. I think you gotta get rid of the watch, though. It's not going to be useful. You're not going to end up using it. Maybe somebody who's better at Heroes of Might and Magic 2 than I am will end up using that, but I certainly will not. And so I'm going to get rid of it in lieu of the opportunity to get something better. Let's start picking up some of these. Oh, look, in the Goblin Hut, it now says nothing because I haven't visited it this week. So once you visit it on the week, then it will tell you, just for the rest of that week, some interesting facts about it. Let's take out these cavalries. No losses. And there is a town here. It looks like it's completely guarded by peasants. This should be just a walk. No problem. And they've actually, the computer spent some time upgrading this town a little bit. One thing when we're talking about the AI and how the AI can perform, that'd be one interesting thing is, can you get the AI to perform in a way where it will take into account that, hey, this is a very highly contested castle. This is kind of right on the border between a secured area and not. Maybe you shouldn't put some money into upgrading it. Maybe you should put those resources elsewhere. Astra can show up at any point because she does have Dimension Door. We will see what she does. We will see what she does. Okay, and then on to a new turn. Yep. Oh, that's what she does. That's what she does. Okay. So I do want to get that Dimension Door as soon as possible. Let's head along the road. Observation Tower. Fantastic. Wizard Town, Wizard Town. There's Thundax again. He's actually got a really strong army. I think I'm going to avoid that for just a second. I'll probably pick up this Wizard Town here. But really, I think that this Sorceress Town, that's my main objective. That is my main objective. There's wolves blocking my path, and it was difficult to see them, but we took them out now. Okay. Take the attack skill. And we're actually going to send Sandro up this road here. Very nice. New observation tower. Wow. Look. There's Jacqueline. Have we had Jacqueline in this scenario? I don't think so. Huh. Whenever I see an old familiar face, I say to myself, was I careless with you and that's why you're now on the enemy's team? And the answer generally is, yeah, probably. I was debating, folks, whether or not I would make this a part 2, if I should stop. But quite frankly, I think that we're not going to have any problem pushing through this scenario. Once I get Dimension Door, I think I'm going to be able to break the enemy and we'll be able to finish this all off. I am going to start getting this Mage Guild here. up to scratch, because if I am able to get something terrific, I want to know so I can come back and handle it. Sabu is holding down the fort this way. He can deal with aerial. We're just gonna pop out here. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'll accept those losses. I don't want to lose Sabu. So he is going to stick to his role as a defender, and he's just going to stay put. I'm going to put him kind of in the middle between the King's Road and the Queen's Road so he can respond one way or the other if we get some aggression from the enemy. Otherwise, Archibald is going to push in, accept some losses. The next mage guild I should really buy would be the Wizard Town with the library. It's the most effective use of your resources. But we will do that another day, another time. Right now we're going to push in there. And interesting that Luna and Lord Kilburn immediately just, passed up Sandro just to try and get this town. Very interesting indeed. I don't think that there's any troops to purchase. I'm going to hit WM. Oh, there are troops to purchase. WM takes you to the well, and then M buys all the troops you possibly can. I might as well make sure that they don't get the troops. If I can't have them, no one can. And so then let's have Sandro. Well, he's not going to do that. Sandro is just a lost cause at this point. Let's see if he can get by and explore into this territory a little bit. Maybe he'll find something useful. Or die immediately. Either way. Yeah, I don't love that from the AI when they just walk right by me to try and take these empty, undefended towns. I don't love that. I'll accept these losses. I did it again, I think. I gotta move the dragons so that way the power liches don't keep getting fried. Alright, Astra is in her hometown. She is not leaving. She cannot run. I can fight this fight in a way that will conserve as many troops as possible. Oh, buddy. Goodbye. Let's blind. Let's paralyze those unicorns. And let's immediately just charge into these castle gates. I don't really care about these sprites. I know that they are going to attack without retaliation, but I just don't care. I just don't care. I'll get them when I get them. Once again, the power liches are just useless. If I could redo the previous scenario, I would not have taken power liches. They've proven very, very ineffective. Just not worth my time. Just not worth my time. The expert ballistics is coming in very nicely. I'm quite happy to see it in action. Okay, but there is Astra, Orange's main hero, with a couple of artifacts. Here's the thing that I'm really hoping for. Oh, it's not this town. Maybe it'll be the next. I'm not going to build the 5th level mage guild here just in case it's something really nice though. I'm going to wait. There's this observation tower here. I will get that next turn. But I'm going to wait just in case there's something crazy going on. If it gets to be a really nice spell, I don't want to have to then make sure that the enemy does not take it from me, get that nice spell, and then use it against me. For example, Armageddon. If I got Armageddon in that mage guild, I would hate for the enemy to then just start using troops to crash against my walls and take out all my supporting troops. I did leave that town undefended, didn't I? I knew that. We're going to take 2 steps out. We're going to get a new hero. Phineas is going to hop right onto that observation tower, and that'll help me figure out what I need to do. Town right there. Town right there. I'm guessing it's one of those. And even though we're losing some ground here in the middle, I'm just going to press right into these enemies. Right into these enemies. And because this is the one I can reach now, that's the town I'm going to fight for. The enemy has fled. So be it. 3 Minotaurs. Not too bad. Is this it? No, this is not it. There's Town Gate, though. Oh, boy. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Look though, look. We got the boats. Maybe now we do send some people out. Maybe we do send some enemies or some loose heroes. Phineas is not doing anything. We're gonna send him that way. Okay. And still he walks. Still he walks. And Sabu is just doing his due diligence at this point. Okay. We'll take the Medal of Courage for free. That's fine. When I think about the AI, though, just kind of continuing that discussion we were having just a second ago, I remember the AI being terrifically difficult to play against in the original Heroes of Might and Magic 2, and you've probably heard me say this before, but it's because the AI used to cheat. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that for fun. I mean, it actually used to not have to worry about the fog of war. And a lot of the difficulty that people experience online, since I've come back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and been playing it and getting very involved with the community, I've been on forums, I've been online, seeing what people say, and a lot of people that return to the series are saying that it's difficult, very, very hard to beat, and some people say it's even impossible. And most of them are playing the original Heroes of Might and Magic 2 version. They're not playing the FHeroes2 version. But when I hear them say that, it really makes me think that, you know what, if you're playing against an omnipotent type of enemy, yeah, you're probably going to have some real big problems. And I wonder if that's what people are running into. Because the original campaigns were just that tough, because the enemy could figure out exactly where you were weak. They could figure out exactly where your strengths were and avoid them. And they really used that to the best of their advantage. And my concern that I haven't come across yet, because I haven't played some of my old favorite scenarios, whether like the user generated or things that people have done in the map editor. I haven't played it on the FHeroes2 much at all, if any. Is I wonder if some of those maps that were designed with the AI that is using those cheats, I wonder if those maps still hold up, and if they do, or if they don't, to what degree. Because when the AI changes, you have to take that into account when you're designing a level, when you're designing a map. I'm really looking forward. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to the time when the FHeroes2 team comes out with the map editor, because my understanding is that at some point the FHeroes2 team is going to come out with their own campaign, and that is going to be terrifically wonderful to see what they can come up with. And I mean, heck, I'd love to offer my services there. I'm not a programmer. I'm not good at a whole lot of support type stuff. I mean, I'm just a person who likes to play games, but I do enjoy generating my own maps, and it'll be interesting to see how the new maps are generated once the editor is in place, because perhaps maps will change fundamentally from Heroes 2 to the FHeroes2 version, simply because it has to, simply because the AI requires you to be smarter, but also more aware of its capabilities, its strengths, and its weaknesses. I hope that that's making sense. I hope that makes sense. That's because the AI is such a big part of the game that the maps must be designed around it, to some degree anyway. That is a new week, by the way. That was day 1. But we're taking out these heroes. We're not fighting these fights. We're not needing to. Tell you what, I think I'm going to just start sleeping some heroes. Well, I'm going to get Ranlu back into this main town so we can just sit there. But otherwise, I'm going to start sleeping some heroes. I do want to see what's at on the high seas. Oh, Magellan's maps. We got to get that immediately. And the reason why I'm sleeping these heroes is not because I have found Dimension Door, because I have not, which is a little sad. I thought I would find it by now. But because this army is so big, I've broken the enemy's back. I don't think that they can consolidate their troops. I don't think that they can present a meaningful threat to me. So my secondary and tertiary heroes, the logistical part of the map, is essentially over. A lot of people love the challenge of fighting the terrain and being the best general that they possibly can be in directing their troops and you know, going through the map. I don't hate that part. I really do enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. But I also recognize that in the interest of time, I ought to be a little bit careful. We did not find the town that had the mage guild that has dimension door, but we found a town that has a dimension door. And now they're cooked. They're absolutely cooked. This is Flint, by the way. We did have to fight him earlier. He was only level 11. I guess we must have gotten all of his artifacts. I am going to pick him up in just a second, but for now, let's make sure that we deal with Zom. And we're going to just start cleaning this up. We'll take +1 to all of the skills that a hero should know. And then we're going to start heading over this way to Thundax. I don't know if Sabu can actually take Thundax here, so we're going to have Sabu go into the town and just defend from here. Even if Thundax goes south immediately, we're going to catch him very, very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. Keeps happening. I've mentioned this before, but occasionally after you use Dimension Door, it will randomly teleport your map viewer to some random spot on the map a little bit further away. And when it happens, it's mostly just annoying. Magellan's Maps, a retired captain living on this refurbished fishing platform, offers to sell you maps of the sea that he made in his younger days for 1,000 gold. Do you wish to buy the maps? I do. And let's see what we got. Oh goodness, look at all that. Yep, I know where we're going to go. Looks like there's Mercury there. Other than some wolves, I'm not sure what's there or there. And then there's this whirlpool, but there's a bottle here. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm always interested in bottles and signs. So let's head south and just work our way this way. We're going to sleep Ranlu. And after we pick up this, I think we're also going to no longer need to hear from Croto. So we got 1 hero out on the map, 2 heroes out of the map, 3. Looks like 1 is threatening to go down the King's Road. Here, Zom. So we'll catch Thundax and then we'll catch Zom with Archibald and start cleaning this up a little bit. And as I can simplify the fight, I'm not going to accept those losses. As I can simplify the fight, I think that we're going to find that we're going to have less and less worries and the fights are going to get easier and easier. This might be the final fight I have to fight before I need to actually defeat Roland himself. I want to Disrupting Ray, their strongest unit. And I'm going to use that to great effect. The halflings, there's a lot of them, but they're not my concern. Plus, the power liches need something to do because the power liches have done absolutely nothing this entire game. It's time for them to finally do something. Thank you. And we lose 1 black dragon instead of more. I don't see any more. I don't see any more terrain. And especially since we have the Dimension Door, we're not really going to need pathfinding, but we'll take it anyway. We have 7 Dimension Doors left. We have 77, now 67 magic points left. A glorious victory. Orange has been vanquished. Okay, so let me go into my nearest Thieves Guild. So we have green, red, green and yellow left, and then blue is, of course, Roland. Yep, we're still the tops as far as artifacts, army strength. Yeah, we are in the driver's seat. There are no concerns here. And in fact, yeah, looks like yellow and green are even worse off than Roland is. So at this point, I think we just need to wrap this up a little bit. Let's still go on the high seas because there's a bottle to be had. But we're actually going to start to ignore the flotsams. I'll pick up the artifacts though. Croto's gonna give me my gems. and go to sleep. Sabu is going to press into the unknown up here. We're going to ignore even mines and things of that nature. We do need to get... We've been in this town recently. I'm not going to stop in just to see if they've built anything new for me. And then let's go here. That's about all we can go for today. And then it looks like Zom stopped. He was going to go down the King's Path and he pulled back. And that's all the better for me, actually. Right now, magic points are less valuable than movement points. Fighting these fights. And we're just going to absolutely Goomba stomp Zom. Yep. No problem. What did people do before Dimension Door? Because we're so low on movement points, we're going to spend the night here and we're going to replenish our spell points. We might as well. We'll take out these towns. Because I think that if we take out these two towns, that'll be the end of yellow. We're going to accept the one dragon loss. We're going to accept the loss of the Minotaur. And then yellow player has been vanquished. The dark side is stronger. I'm going to hit print screen. We're going to save that for later. Especially, this is very fitting. How wonderful is this at this point? The dark side is stronger. Indeed it is, as we have found. Resurrect, that could be useful later. A good Resurrect can do a lot. There's a lot of things you can do with a good Resurrect, actually. Some of my favorite fights I've ever fought, it's hard to remember what the scenario was, but there's some very tricky things you can do with Resurrect. For example, you can sometimes make it to where you will box in some shooters, some titans or some war trolls with some 2-hex creatures, and then they will just continue to shoot. They'll just keep shooting. And the enemy, if it ever takes out one of those stacks of 2-hex creatures, you're just going to resurrect them. It's absolutely a way to cheese the fight. And is that good? Is that bad? It is what it is, really. Look at this. Lots of Crusaders. I'm wondering, what is up here? What is this? What are they guarding? You know what? I'll bet that the Crusaders were guarding something. And then I'm guessing that the enemy got Dimension Door. They Dimension Doored right over it. And then they took that. I'm guessing this was not made to be Dimension Doored over. But remember that there was another hero. There was a blue hero up here and then a blue hero up here. I'm guessing that this is the breadbasket for that secondary hero. If I had to guess, I would guess that that's what it is. We don't have a whole lot of movement points left. We'll hop in here. We'll pick up this observation tower. I didn't know there was one, but we'll take it. Uncle Milty. So he's got to be a relation to both me and Roland, wouldn't you think? I guess we can get here from these stone liths. There's a pack of titans guarding it right now. I'm going to town gate home. I'm low on movement. I'm low on magic. And then tomorrow we're going to go take out Willow. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Oh, we do need to move to go get the bottle. Okay. And so actually, hold on. I can hit C for cast, and then is there a hotkey for Dimension Door? I wish that there was, but there's not. But this will save me one step anyway. I go C, Dimension Door, and over, since I'm using it so very much. Glorious Combat. We'll stop in just to see if there's anything fun here. The Mage Guild, Chain Lightning. That's great. And then eventually these Titans, we will replace the Power Liches. Okay. And then this should be the end of green, I think. Green player has been vanquished. All right. And we'll stop in here as well. So the last thing we really need to do is first off, I'm getting rid of the power liches. I don't care. I don't want them. I don't want to even think about them. I'm going to make sure that Sabu gives up his dragons and these Cyclops. And then Sabu is going to step out of the way, and he's going to sleep as well. The only people that are awake now are Phineas, who's picking up a holy pendant, and Archibald. Even if I don't... Well, hold on. What's the next upgraded town mage guild here? I need this one right here. Let's see if I can get something nice that I need to come back for. Hypnotize, Resurrect True. I'll go back. I'll go back. But at this point, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to go scout out Roland. I'm going to find out where he is. And once I have found out where he is, I'm going to then consider how I want to end him. What will be the means of his demise? What will be the way that he cries for help? It sounds so bad. I really need to stop hanging out with the evil dude, because it's starting to really wear off on me. Do not enter. Can't stop me. Oh, we got to pick up the sign. I'm sorry, we have to. I can't not pick up the sign. The wolves, yeah, we'll fight them. We'll turn back now. We saw something similar to this in the end of the Roland campaign, where it said things like turn back now, abandon all hope. And that seems a little strange. That felt like a dirty, underhanded tactic of Archibald. Sure, welcome to your doom. But that does not seem like something you'd find in Roland's playbook, to be quite honest. And now look at this. We have these stone liths, which are different than these stone liths. Guarded by a pack of titans. Maybe the game designers specifically made it so you cannot dimension door over here. That would actually be pretty reasonable to say, hey, you must kill these titans. No matter the point, I've gone as far as I can today. Let's return, and then let's pick up this last artifact, Golden Horseshoe, and then let's go pick up this bottle. What are you doing here? That's a great question. My thing is why and why not? Why not? Why not? Did I pick up when I was over here? Did I get this Xanadu? I did. And that's actually going to be really important. Picking up these forts, picking up this mercenary camp. I may pick up this fort as well. Every little bit is going to help. It really is. And if I don't have anything to do at the moment, I might as well. I'm wondering though, and I'm hoping next turn I'll find out, if I'll be able to land somewhere and then sneak in the back door to get to Roland. I just don't want to have to fight Titans if I don't have to. If I don't have to. There's some extra defense. We'll stop on that Mage Guild, or that Magic Well in the morning. I hit the wrong button. Dimension door here. +1 to attack. And let's see. Well, we need to start rallying our troops. I think we'll have enough to do some major damage in just a little bit. Let's pick up whatever extra morale we can, just for the final battle. Every extra tree, every blade of grass will be overturned. Even these trees at this point are starting to be useful because you're getting the +1 attack, the +1 defense, whatever it is. Not so much do I care about the other bits. If I get knowledge or spell power, I don't really care. Like that. We're going to have Ranlu take 1 step outside and re-sleep. Well, 2 steps outside and re-sleep. Phineas continues to be silly. Yep, I think that we're going to have to go through these Titans, and so we might as well start getting our main army built back up. We are going to take Cyclops. We may take the Hydras. Let's take the Hydras now. We're almost out of mana. Almost. Yep. Unfortunately, this is where the buck stops. But turns don't really matter at this point, unless we're saying to ourselves, hey, but we're really trying to finish the game as quickly as we possibly can to get that super sweet high score. And that is valid. That's absolutely valid. Well, we're going to stay here overnight anyway. Yep, and I think now we sleep Phineas. His job is just to be on the high seas. Pick up some more dragon growth. Minotaur Kings. Oh. And 28 more Hydras. Yeah, we're going to end up taking these Hydras on the road. Who would have thought? Meaning I'm very glad I picked them up. In fact, I'm more happy I picked up them than I am the Power Liches. The Power Liches just didn't feel like they were very effective for me. This entire game did not feel very effective. If I get some more gems, I can trade for some more mage guilds. Maybe I'll get something great. Resurrect True. Really what I want is the town portal spell. I want to be able to just show up wherever I want to, when I want to. 15 bone dragons. Are they better than any of these? No, they're not. They're just not. And then the rest of everything, I think we're going to probably end up leaving maybe the gargoyles for some titans. It's quite possible. Quite possible. Anyway. And so we continue. And I understand that this part is boring. There's a good chance I'm going to end up just fast forwarding for your sake and mine, and just saying, hey, this is where we got to the point where the battle was won. We just needed to really do a little bit of cleanup and marshal our troops towards the front. It's not very exciting. It's just not. But it's very necessary. Can't afford because I don't have the gems. Let's get all these. Yep. It's gonna cost me dearly to upgrade them. Yeah, but what else am I gonna do with my time? All right, and I think that this is it. So at this point, we got 35 black dragons, we got 27 titans, we got the 76 hydras, we got a couple of cyclops, we got a good stack of minotaur kings. And I think I like these artifacts. I don't think I'm too worried about it. We do not have any way that we can dimension door into the unknown as far as I'm aware. So we are going to fight these titans and then, I suppose, fight my brother. And finally put an end to his shenanigans. I'm pretty sure that Archibald was the good brother. From everything I've been told, he was the one who, you know, he played nice with the other kids. He worked hard in school. The Titans don't even want to fight me. Do I want to pursue them and engage them? It doesn't matter. And there is Roland. There he is. Let's see. Was there a way for me to get over to him? The answer is no. There was these stone liths. Those stone liths would bring you to this breadbasket. But at this point, I believe that this is the end for our brother. We're going to have 104 spell points to fight this fight. I'm not going to cast any other spells right now. Visions isn't going to help me. So there's nothing else to do but fight this fight. And thus will bring an end to both the Roland and the Archibald campaign. This indicates that we are going to win this fight. We have to fight it, though. We cannot avoid it. Very worth noting that Roland has 9 attack, 12 defense, 13 spell power, and 11 knowledge. He's got blood morale, he's got Irish luck, and he's got 110 spell points. He's going to be an absolute load to deal with. We went around and we hit every single mercenary camp, every single fort. We got our attack up to 10. We got our defense up to 13. Our spell power is terrific. Our morale is blood. Our luck is Irish. We are both pretty well maxed out for what the map could provide us. So let's fight this fight. And with the Titans are huge. 30 Titans is so many Titans. And it's so amazing that none of the other stacks of creatures really kept up. The Archmages, 43 is nothing. That's nothing. This is an interesting time where sometimes the simplest spell is the best when we're dealing with large stacks of troops. For example, I mean, I could do a 5th level spell like a Resurrect True. That'll be great at some point, sure. The Hypnotize, ooh, very, very wonderful. But really what I'm probably going to do is defense, use the Disrupting Ray to bring down these Titans' defense by 3. And I'm probably going to do that again and again and again and again and again and again and again to take out their biggest stack. Right now, just to show you how big of a effect size -3 defense is going to have here. Right now, these 35 black dragons are going to do anywhere between 743 damage to 1487. So we're going to kill 2 to 4. Even with just 3 less defense skill, that's going to go up by 100 and then another, what was that, 300 points of damage? And every single time we cast Disrupting Ray, that number is only going to get better for me as the defense comes closer to my attack skill. Right now we're at even. 24 defense, 24 attack. Next time it's really going to hurt, and my black dragons are going to start doing bonus damage. Next time I cast Disrupting Ray, my dragons are going to do 30% bonus damage instead of just even damage. Let's make it happen. 3 Titans perish. There goes some black dragons. Ooh, good luck. Oh, that's the last thing you needed. But you got good morale, if that's worth anything. Let's just work on this whole stack of the Archmages. I think that the black dragons are going to revel in that combat. And we will let them. We will let them have their fun. My slow little Hydras are not even going to be a factor, especially since they're blinded. 28 dragons, 16 Titans. Again, so right now, 700, that's perfect. 700 to 1400 damage. Very clean numbers. I like that. We go from 7 to 1400 up to 910 to 1820. Yeah. It matters. It matters. Ooh, now I get my good luck. My turn. Okay. I do not have the golden bow. I think one hero I had did have the golden bow, and that would have been nice for my Titans to shoot over the wall with no penalty, but c'est la vie. And then let's see. So 900 or 1700 damage. 1000 to 2000. Yep. It adds up. And meanwhile, all my troops are just blind. They're very sad and they're very blind. My goal now for the rest of this fight is to show you the Hypnotize spell. There's no more defenses. The main ballista's destroyed. The left turret's destroyed. The right turret is destroyed. They have the moat. That's good. There's still too many hit points on any of these stacks for them to get hypnotized. Let's work on these golems. Oh, well, if I didn't know you had that, but it's not going to matter because welcome back and so long. Let's see. Can I hypnotize? No, I can't. 40? Maybe I won't kill all 40 of them. Oh, too bad. I will. So I'm not going to get to my goal. We're just going to lose 13 black dragons, and we're going to absolutely roll that fight. Folks, it was still a good fight. But I got to tell you, back to what I said in the very, very beginning of this intro. Sorry, but the Roland campaign is just much harder. It pays to be evil. What can I say? All that experience, the ultimate shield, as I reach for it, it mysteriously disappears. That is a plus attack and defense by 6. So Roland had some good artifacts there to help him. But otherwise, I believe that this is the end. You have captured Fenton. You are victorious. Let's see if there's a post-amble. I'm worried that because I had said that Archibald was only evil at like a 3.9 or a 4 out of 10, I'm worried he's about to do something very evil and completely ruin my whole ranking system. Let's find out.
Well, Roland, it seems I've won our little contest. But don't worry, not only have I decided to spare your life, but I am appointing you monarch of the Western Tower. You will be the ruler of a mighty empire, one whose every crack and crevice you will know. In 10 minutes, perhaps I will come and visit your splendid court, when you're not entertaining important rats and spiders.
That's really sad. That's really sad. Folks, this is the FHeroes2 team. We've got a lot of great support from these folks on the Discord. Zens has commented on just about every single video I've had, and the insight has been invaluable. I appreciate this special thanks. I know that these are people who are programmers, these are graphical artists, these are people who are working in a variety of ways to make FHeroes2 what it is, and I'm grateful for every single one of them. I hope that you are getting the opportunity to appreciate what they do. Watching someone else play is not a bad thing. I appreciate the nostalgia. I appreciate being able to, revisit it without investing all the time that it takes to play these games. It's an investment in time, certainly. But regardless of how you enjoy Heroes of Might and Magic 2, the FHeroes edition, I really, really hope that you do recognize that these folks are putting a lot of hours into this, a whole ton of hours, more than I can possibly fathom myself. So I appreciate the passion project. This is a terrific game, and I plan on playing it for a lot longer than just now. This is not the end. If you're wondering, oh, FixFox, you've completed the Roland campaign and the Archibald campaign. Is that it? The answer is no. This is a game that has endless replayability, and I'm planning on putting that to the absolute test. Alrighty, so we have cycled through this, and there's one more thing left to do. And that is to do our final screen. On difficulty hard, we had a score of 255. That gives us a rating of a black dragon. It took us 341 turns, or 341 days, to complete the Archibald campaign. This has been a great campaign, and I've been happy to do it, and I'm actually a little bit surprised it took us 341 days. I think I spent some time mustering my troops at the very end there. So be it. I think I actually had a higher score on the Roland campaign than I have here on the Archibald campaign. We will check in just a little bit. I'll let you know in the next video. But for now, folks, I said at the end of the Roland video, and I'll say it again here at the end of the Archibald video. The reason I'm doing this is because my dad got me into Heroes of Might and Magic 2, and I hope that someday that I can get my kids into Heroes of Might and Magic 2. And, heaven forbid that I should die an early death and I step off the corner of a street and I get hit by a bus. That's really been my motivation, is that way my kids can say, who was my dad? And they can look at these and say, yeah, he was a total and complete nerd. Sure. Truly. But yeah, I'm doing this for my kids. So I'm grateful for everything I have. I'm grateful for the insight and the feedback we're getting, and let's keep playing this fantastic game. Folks, until next time, my name is FixFox, and I'm out.